how many attacks I have.
So Dash, I put it at the bottom of your. Okay, so it's at the bottom of all your character sheets called Quick Combat Reference.
Why are we live on YouTube?
Because we wanted to do something different.
I didn't sign off on that.
We might want to wait until we're done explaining and stuff, but
I do not give my consent to be live on YouTube.
It's in your
patrons.
It's in your NDA. Yeah.
I never signed anything.
Yeah, no, yeah, we all did. Yeah.
We talked about
Dash. You came on after me.
Nope.
Dash's show now.
No, you're wrong.
No, yeah, it's incorrect.
So your attacks per melee are located on the bottom of your character sheet, combat quick reference or whatever. APM is what that stands for.
Okay.
So Dash, you have 4. Caleb has. Caleb should have
Caleb's got
4 as well. I wrote 3 on accident, but you have 4 as well, Caleb.
Cool.
Got that orange.
Looks like Bentley's got 4. Oh, you'll have 4. Okay. Good.
Is that an 810 cab?
What?
Is that an Ampeg 810?
It's a 410, and then I got a 118 under it. A carbon 118.
Dude, I don't know if you saw this the other day or if you follow him on Instagram or whatever, but Mike Herrera from MerixPX, he just got his own signature bass from Ernie Ball.
Whoa.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. He's got his.
He did kind of.
So it's like the teal one, and it comes with the Poconacha head on the pick guard, and it's like the light oak fretboard or whatever. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, and he always played out of Ampeg 810, cabs or whatever.
That is cool.
Yeah, it was super neat. I saw that. I saw his Instagram post the other. Hey, how many of you guys watched my Guns N' Roses cartoon?
I have not yet.
Milo, what'd you think, bud?
It was hilarious. Yeah, it was very funny.
Dash,
What?
did you watch the Guns N' Roses cartoon?
I started it, but I was at work, and then Axl Rose started humping the ground, and so I had to scroll by.
Microphones.
NSFW.
Ow! Yeah, what's cool about that cartoon specifically is like I did like 10 of them or something like that for him. But like, what's cool about that cartoon specifically is that like he sent me a script and I saw it, so it's like I gave him a line reading of like all of his lines, but then I kind of also saw where it could be, sort of spruced up or whatever, and so I just started screwing around with lines and like started fucking around, and basically the entire cartoon is all of me just fucking around. He used all of me, just like all of my goof offs,
Nice.
There's a Back to the Future one coming out soon, in which somebody definitely sucks somebody off to get back to the future. Like, and I can't remember if it's Doc Brown or if it's Marty, but I got to do all those voices. So I don't know. It's cool that he's doing and he and I sort of like brokered a deal where I was like, what'd be fun is like, I did all these voices for you. One, I want you to do something, the 45th parallel, where I'm going to sort of like curate the audio to about 45 to maybe 60 seconds. The thing where Boz figures out that the fucking Titanic wasn't a documentary movie or whatever.
That would be a good one. Yeah.
So like, I'm going to curate that audio. Into like a 45, 60-second clip, and then Steve's going to animate it. And then we're also going to do these things, like when SNL does those sketches where it's like all these celebrities tried out for Star Wars or whatever the fuck, movie. It's going to be that only for like Marvel movies. And I'm going to play Stan Lee, which is the casting director. And then it's like, whatever celebrity impressions trying out for whatever Marvel movie or, and I'm just going to do impressions. God damn it, Dash. I expect you to start doing like armpit farting. Doing armpit farts.
I was putting lotion on.
Oh, you got that lotion.
Well, my hands are really dry.
From washing them all day at work?
Yeah.
Oh. Caleb, did you watch the Guns N' Roses?
Not yet. I watched another one that you put out not too long ago. I feel like, didn't you just do another one?
Steve is putting out a bunch of shit all of April.
Oh, okay.
And in which I'm a part of most of them. I don't know if I sent it to you guys or whatever, but there's this I shot this thing it's a dream come true that he's making it fucking happen. I shot this fucking thing in my kitchen with my cell phone on the selfie camera, just like turned around. It was really cool. I had it on my music stand, and then my phone was propped up against a fucking Kleenex box. But it's me interacting with this cartoon character, and he's going to be standing on my little island medium right there in my kitchen, and I get to interact with him like it's like Roger Rabbit or like Gene Kelly and Jerry the Mouse or whatever. It's so cool. And so I just talked to myself, and then like I recorded the lines afterwards, like for the kid that I'm talking to. But I did this really weird sort of like Mr. Rogers-y kind of like guy that ends up being like on acid or something like that, and like smashes like a live egg into his head and then like starts licking like the egg yolks. And then I brought out the cheese balls, and I started like throwing them up and like trying to catch them and like playing a game or whatever. Yeah, it's super dumb. Anyway, Rhett, are you ready to go? I was just filibustering.
Yeah, no, you're all good. Yeah, I'm ready to go if you guys are.
Yes.
So, I was talking about combat a little bit, but that's basically the most complicated bit that we'll get to, is just how it's likely that you guys might run out of attacks in the middle of a melee. Wow. And then you might just get pummeled and stuff like that. And the other thing is, you can kind of do compete roles. So for example, like, if somebody is attacking you, you can roll to basically dodge it. But let me make sure I got this page.
You can dodge, parry, or roll with it. If you roll with it, right?
Yeah. So rolling is basically taking half damage. Like you're able to like absorb an attack. And that's specifically like hand to hand. It doesn't necessarily mean like a gun attack or even like a power blast. But basically you have to roll higher than the attack roll that somebody rolled off on you. You can also spend an attack to just like simultaneously attack somebody attacking you instead of dodging or parrying, and basically it's like a tit for tat, like you guys punch each other right in the face. So yeah, dodging takes one of your moves away. So all of you have 4, which will be really easy to remember. But like if you're being attacked and you don't want to take any damage, you spend an attack. You can roll a d20 to compete against their roll, and if it's higher, you avoid it. You all have pretty significant bonuses to like striking in hand-to-hand combat. Like if you look at that quick combat thing, like I'm looking at Dashes right now, he's got a plus 12.
Nice.
Oh, Caleb, yours is actually, oh no,
Plus 19.
yeah, that's for damage. So strike is a little bit lower, but so some of you are going to have like significantly higher like damage modifiers. Some of you will have significantly higher striking modifiers, which will be kind of like, your roll to hit. Some of you have really high like dodging and parrying modifiers, while others have pretty low. Some of you are going to have obscenely high armor. And like, for instance, like Bentley's character has pretty high armor, but he only has 1 hit point.
Do I really?
Yeah, but it's going to take an act of God to whittle you down to even hit that hit point. Does that make sense?
Well, I didn't say it didn't.
But no, I know. I'm just saying, like, because I'm in the middle of explaining stuff. So I just want to make sure, like, yeah. So basically also the way like armor rating works and stuff is like anything under a 5 is like an automatic miss. Like doesn't matter even if you don't have like an AR, I don't think. Could be wrong about that. But basically if you have an armor rating they have to beat your armor rating in order to do any sort of damage to you. And even then, it only does damage to your armor, which is your SDC number. If you guys look at your character sheet.
Oh, gotcha.
My SDC.
So like Bentley has 1,000 SDC, whereas Caleb's character only has 99. Oh, whoops! I forgot to put Milo's in, but I think Milo, yours was under 100, if I'm not mistaken. You had pretty high, but it was a little lower. And then Dash has, when he's like in metal form, he's got
35.
1,035, yeah, which is crazy.
Dash, are you T1000?
I'm an alien, and I can turn my body into metal. It's pretty sick, and I can absorb energy and then discharge energy.
Oh, you're gonna discharge all over the place?
Yeah, I'm gonna discharge all over my enemies. I'm gonna pull energy from like a nuclear power plant and then put it into my dick, and then shoot energy blasts
Discharge all over your
from my hips.
Oh, we're live on YouTube, babies. Here it is. Caleb, what are you eating? Are you eating cauliflower?
Bean and cheese burrito.
I was eating a burrito.
Nice. Anyway,
Caleb, did you dye your hair? Oh.
I'm just not in my my influencer setup out in the other room, so it might look a little different.
No, just your hair looks black this week.
I had a question about
Yeah.
saving throws.
yeah, please.
So those numbers that are in parentheses next to each saving throw, is that our base number?
Yeah, let me look real quick because I wasn't quite sure about that, but it looks to be,
And then
Yeah.
we get a +1.
yeah. So those are the base numbers that you have to beat, beats on saving throws. So like, for example, you guys are looking at it, it says magic, ritual, 16 or better. So you have to roll a 16 or better in order to win. And I did put, to the best of my ability, your modifiers. You guys probably have modifiers for things like pain and electrocution,
Mhm.
stuff like that, that I wasn't sure about, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Yeah. Let's just start.
You want to intro us, host Rhett? And
I
I've got a
do.
can.
I
You
do
got
too.
the touch. You got the power. Yeah.
Get out of here, son.
Yeah, isn't it weird
Okay.
when I'm you? It's annoying, right?
I never do that.
No,
dumb
you never
song.
sing it.
I only do hits, dude. I only do fucking hits. Oh yeah, nah. Here we go, playing heroes. Okay, anyway. Welcome.
Dash, can you get sexy for us real quick?
Yeah.
He's always
What do you mean get? Yeah, what do you mean get?
Let's start.
Welcome, dear listeners, one and all, to a special edition of Chaotic Amateurs, the best role-playing, tabletop role-playing RPG on the internet. On the internet? On the internet?
Oh,
Get that interview,
jeez.
bud.
On iTunes, on Spotify, on Google Play.
On Spotify, on Goggleplaw. On the internets.
On the internudes.
I'm Root.
Shut up, Dush.
Oh.
Today, we're playing a special game near and dear to my heart. It is called Heroes Unlimited, first published in something like 1982. It is a direct response to Dungeons and Dragons second edition, and because of it, the rules are a hot mess. And because of that, we're gonna just steamroll our way through this game. We might get some things wrong, we might get
Definitely.
some things right, but we're gonna have a blast doing it. So before I introduce our game, or actually maybe I'll introduce the game and then you can all maybe introduce us to your characters. How's that sound?
You're calling the shots, bro.
So let me set the stage for our campaign. Give you a brief history here. 100 years ago, alien crafts violently collided with the Earth. They brought with them much change. Many people got sick, many more died, but those who survived came away with extraordinary abilities. Some, could produce more spit than others, some more sweat, but others found that they could lift cars, maybe fly, maybe even stop bullets mid-flight. Now, it did not take long for people to grow resentful of the weaker among them. And with these alien crafts came aliens on board, yet thrusting humanity further into a future that it was not prepared for. They call it the First War. And the First War ended almost as quickly as it began. Those who resented the powerless and the weak rose up to destroy them. Those who begrudged the alien extraterrestrial beings that were living among them rose up, but were smashed by those who wanted to bring humanity into a brighter future, not a darker one. But the evidence of this war, the First War, it can be seen clearly from where most of you are now standing. That is on the bridge of the Citadel, a gleaming and massive capital ship in deep orbit over Earth. It is home base to the High Council of Heroes. This is the organization that won the First War, protects Earth from threats of super beings and extraterrestrials. But the memory of the First War, just like the evidence seen down on the Earth, lives on in the hearts and minds of many, and not always in a good way. So now if you imagine our camera panning in from this gleaming cylindrical spire just floating in deep space, our camera zooms in, and there standing through this transparent steel viewport are many of you, I would assume. Now, I know some of you aren't necessarily on the High Council of Heroes, but maybe work for the High Council of Heroes on board the Citadel. Standing in the viewport to our camera angle is none other than Thomas Ilford, the leader of the High Council of Heroes. And strangely enough, one of the only ones that has no powers to speak of, but has trained his body to near physical perfection. Now, I emailed some of you before and asked to consider what you were doing, whether or not you were on the High Council of. Do we want to go around our proverbial table here and talk about, I think Caleb has a pretty strong idea of what his character is doing. If you want to go first.
Sure. Greetings. My name is Matthias Spenning, and the High Council thought I was the I take care of all the numbers and the,
I think we're losing Caleb. I bet you 100% because of the stream you've lost bandwidth.
Can you hear me okay now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Should I turn the stream off?
It's up to you. I didn't think it interfered with you before, but that we didn't understand almost anything you said.
Okay.
I heard Matthew spinning, and then it was nonsense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fine now.
Yeah, we can hear
Okay.
you now.
Well,
Yeah.
okay. My name is Matthias Spenning, and I serve the High Council as their accountant. Apparently, they thought that I would be the best person for the job, and as far as I know, that's my main value for the High Council. And um, oh, there is one other thing I can do besides great numbers. And Matthias, you see him reach into his chest pocket where he's got a pocket protector, and he's got this pen. Looks like an ordinary pen. He pulls it out and he clicks it, and then a bolt of lightning shoots down. You don't know where from because you're indoors, but a lightning bolt strikes him, and as the flash dissipates, before you is standing this long, golden-haired, um, strong-looking, beautiful specimen of a human being. Um,
Fabio.
yeah, essentially. And he says, "And I am 4." And then that's that.
Nicely
Sweet.
done. So we Matthias Spenning,
Yes.
the accountant for the High Council of Heroes, who, while not necessarily serving on the council, might be around the table, as it were, making sure that the budget is on track. And wherever Thomas Ilford is, Matthias Spenning is nearby, always eager to answer questions about the fiscal quarter or something like that. Because running a starship, even though we live in some prosperous future where people can, I don't know, generate electricity with their bodies or something, is still expensive work. So
It's all about the bottom line.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Does anybody else want to go? We got Dash's character who definitely Oh, Caleb, yes.
Can somebody say "Let the adventure begin"? Because I really want to open this beer. I've been hanging on to it for a really long time.
Fine. Let the adventure begin. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Now, Dash's character stands out amongst us on the bridge of the Citadel because, well, he looks like he's made of rocks, colorful rocks. Tell us about your character, Dash.
Okay. My
Thing.
what?
I said you're a bedazzled thing from Fantastic.
Yeah, I'm beautiful looking. I'm like a shiny agate.
Superhero
my-
name, shiny
Yeah. So I'm an alien, and my name is Jarlaxanon Verdalagon, and then
AOL sign on.
but you can just call me Jarlax.
Nice.
And I come from a harsh environment, my original planet, Homeworld, and essentially that's why I have like a rock-like body, and I came to Earth originally. Can't remember if it was to. I just know my goal is to achieve glory. And
Yeah.
initially it was going to be to conquer the Earth. And then I decided that I liked Earth. And so I'm not going to conquer it now. So you're welcome.
Perfect.
What is it that made you fall in love with Earth? Is it the
Uh,
women?
Yeah, the agates.
He went to that glass beach down in
You guys-
California.
You guys got
It's
nice
alien.
rocks.
My agates.
More agates.
Oh yeah.
I
remember
didn't think
something
about
about-
that.
I remember something about chicken wings also.
Oh yeah, I do remember you talking about chicken wings. You're like, that's right. You're like, a place that's got this tasty of wings can't be all bad.
Oh, that's right. I completely remember. I opened up a chain of buffalo wings.
There we go.
That's right. That's right.
I completely forgot. Yeah, I own a chain of buffalo wings. And yeah, because I know Milo's character, you like
I eat chicken wings to get my power.
That's right. That's right.
That's right, and I supply you with chicken wings. Yeah.
Yeah.
So needless to say that Jarlaxanon he has founded one of the more successful chicken wings franchises in the post superhuman Earth, and he has brought his chain even into space on board the Citadel, where of course our other hero, played by Milo, who maybe you want to introduce yourself a little bit here.
Yeah, so I'm just kind of like kneeling on the floor. I look a lot like the guy from My 600-Pound Life, wearing like a light blue t-shirt. My belly's hanging out. I've got like a giant belly button, and I've got like a big old bucket of chicken wings that I'm just kind of munching on. I like the spicier, the better ones.
Like that weird vampire in Blade 2.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
My name is Jimmy, and I like to eat chicken wings, and they give me magic powers, and I kind of go with my hands on my belly, and then my belly starts to get really light, and I start lifting off the ground. Like, see?
So
I can control it.
your belly is like a flapping wing.
No,
Essentially?
it just basically gets less dense, and it becomes less dense in the air around it, and I'm able to
Interesting.
lift off the ground.
As if it's helium or something.
Something like that.
Interesting.
But yeah, my name is Jimmy.
Jimmy, nice. All right, so Jimmy, of course, probably sitting around the council table. Dash, are you on the council yourself, or are you just here maybe on a tour? Or
So I think I opened up a franchise within the Citadel food court,
Yeah.
and then I decided that I reminded myself that I also still want to achieve true glory. So I decided to join the Citadel and see if I can lend my powers to obtain some personal glory as well.
perfect. You've definitely found some glory with the Wings franchise, but now you're after even more.
Even more glory.
Headed places that only the council can take you. Now, Jimmy, are you yourself a member of the council, or are you just a guest on the Citadel?
I'm just following chicken wings, man.
You're just following the chicken wings. And of course, after having some of the best chicken wings on Earth, you've been invited up to the Citadel to sample what deep space chicken wings taste like. And you are not disappointed. No, sir. They taste just as great up here as they do down in your favorite spots on Earth. Now, our other hero, who has seemed to disappear, if he's on the bridge within sight of any of you guys, he looks like a humanoid robot of some sort. He's about 18 feet tall standing, but maybe he can tell us about himself. I'm talking about the 18-foot tall
Why didn't
robot.
you skip me and go to Caleb?
I was first.
I'm talking
Yeah.
about you.
Oh, gotcha.
So maybe you can tell us about yourself, Mr. Spox.
Sorry. Yeah. Somebody knocked on my door, which never happens.
Oh, no problem.
And I forgot Caleb went first. Okay. Yes. My name is Spox Gearbutt, and the quick backstory that Rhett and I worked out today is that I'll just read you what Rhett texted me. In my headcanon, the High Council of Heroes made you, but IDC. I don't know what that means.
I don't care.
Don't
Okay.
care.
So I'll tell you, the High Council made you specifically
Also,
because
you don't have to be the captain of the Citadel, the big spaceship you'll all start on, but you are welcome to be, and I think that's fun. I think it fits your skills, which are narrow, more so than other players, just because you were very powerful. And so I think, in my head, I think maybe I've been relieved of my captain duties, but I refuse to acknowledge it. You know, like you refuse that you've broken up with a girlfriend or something like that. And so it's like, I'll go on this adventure. Or yes, I'll go to Earth or whatever, for the good of the ship, for the good of the Citadel. I am the captain. I'm in charge. But really, I've been banished like Spock and have to earn my way back. And then I wrote, I know very little of Star Trek, and I don't know if Spock was actually ever banished. And so, yes, I am Spock's gearbot. And
Perfect.
there's an umlaut over the U in butt, so it's actually boot, but everyone just says butt.
Oh.
And we've kind of we're a long lineage family. You know, we're a long lineage. The gearbutts, we're a long lineage family that have served the Citadel well and traverse the universe and all of those sorts of things. But I am Spock's gearbot, and I am your captain now.
Perfect. Yeah, so Spock's gear boot is in charge of navigating the Citadel through space, even though right now it's just in orbit around Earth. It doesn't have anywhere to go, but to maintain orbit, to make sure that it doesn't decay too much. And also to, I don't know, make sure asteroids don't crash into it and stuff. So he's on the bridge. He looks like a giant tall robot guy at the moment.
What
I'm
what
18 feet tall.
You're 18 feet tall.
what do
You're
you turn
huge.
into?
You'll see.
What were your parents? Were they trash cans?
Got him. So now that we're familiar with all of our heroes, like I said, the camera zooms into Thomas Ilford's face. He looks like an immaculate version of
Mark Ruffalo.
no, sorry. Fine. He looks like an immaculate version of Mark Ruffalo. I don't care.
Oh, he's so
His
manicured.
hair-
So he looks like Mark Ruffalo, just normal Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah,
Mark
his
Ruffalo.
hair is immaculately trimmed. His nails are perfect length. He looks as though he spends too much time on his appearance, but he is peak physical perfection of the human body. And he is talking to one of the other council members who looks like a sewer rat. However, the sewer rat is 5.5 feet tall.
Splinter.
He is dressed in ninja gi and carries a katana on his hip. He is accompanied by what looks to be a humanoid tortoise.
Yeah, I knew it. You son of a bitch.
You did it.
How dare you?
And his name is shoot, I came up with a really clever name earlier, but I forgot. It was one of the ones I forgot to write it down, but I will get to that. But Tom looks at the rat and he says, Master Shinzo, I appreciate your concern on these matters, but you have to know that the first war is long behind us now. And Shinzo, through his snout, you realize that human speech comes a little bit more difficult to him. And he says, Master Ilford, the war has only been placed on low heat, as it were, simmering just beneath our memory. And with that, another person who looks exactly like Thomas Ilford, except instead of being immaculate, is so poorly dressed, is so poorly kempt. His hair, some of it falls past his shoulders in thumb-thick dreadlocks and dirty, greasy ringlets. His facial hair grows out in scraggly, little threads. His clothes seem to be unwashed. It is his identical twin brother, who's named Jarvis. And he says to his brother Tom, he says, yes, this one knows the war is never over. In fact, and he turns to the front, and though some of you are not exactly privy to the goings on of the Citadel, find another person. A neatly dressed man wearing a suit, piercing blue eyes. Those who have been on board the Citadel for some time know him as Jim Boyd. Now, Jim was a classic member of the Council of Heroes, but defected some years ago. And he comes to the council, makes introductions to you all, including Matthias, even though he's not exactly on the council as it was. And he says he's here to make demands that the High Council of Heroes recognizes his authority as a sovereign, I guess not nation by any means, I guess, but a sovereign government of its own superpowered beings, of which the High Council of Heroes has over since the end of the First War. Him and Tom Milford get into heated debate, and Jim Boyd says, "You will live to regret this." Now, does anybody want to chime in with Jim Boyd or Tom Milford or Shinzo or his mutant tortoise son? I know there's not a lot to go off of right now, but if anybody wants to,
I'm dutifully taking notes, standing behind. What was his name? Thomas
Ilford.
Yeah, I'm standing behind Thomas, kind of in the shadows, kind of blurred out. If we're talking camera, like all the action is happening, and I'm kind of an afterthought taking notes. Just for the records.
Perfect.
Maybe your autobiography. I'm an afterthought.
Yeah.
Now,
also,
Matthias' story.
Happy, Rhett, that you didn't go like racist Japanese accent on that guy.
He sounded like he was going there though for a moment.
I was like, oh shit, is he gonna go total splitter on it? Uh-oh. Dance party?
So yeah, I tried and failed, but anyway, and Jarlaxanon and
Not
Jimmy.
What we were saying that we're glad that you didn't do a Japanese accent.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We were like, gosh, Rhett, where's the 1950s at? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Welcome back to America's great age. Now, Jarlaxanon and Jimmy have not been on board the Citadel long enough, but I will say that Spenning and Spox remember when Jim Boyd served on the High Council, and he was often at odds with the way that they handled things. They did not like. He did not like that the council seemed to have sort of a monopoly in the say in how superpowered beings went about their business. They had a monopoly in the say of the way that Earth defended itself from powerful threats, things like that. And he left some 2 years ago and vowed that he would come back and seek revenge. And here he is. And though they don't seem to be threatened at all, Jarvis, his face, he's the unkempt one that looks exactly like his brother Tom, except dirty. His face is always blank. And in fact, you'll recall that his mind was sort of obliterated in the event that gave him powers. He is sort of in touch with what he always defines as the one spirit. And so he refers to himself as this one all the time. He does not recognize himself necessarily as like a single individual. And so he doesn't even have emotions on his face. But Shinzo does seem a little bit disturbed. Shinzo does not like the fact that Jim Boyd is back. And if anybody wants to say anything or ask any questions of these characters, now's the time to do it, because you are kind of in the middle of this argument.
They're all there right
Yes.
now. I would like to step in and go, "Excuse me, Jim Boyd, you seem upset. You would benefit greatly from these new hot and spicy ranch buffalo spicy wings.
Oh yeah, they're real good.
He likes them. He is my main customer."
And he says, Jaloxanon, was that it? This is your wing franchise here.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Do you enjoy my wings? I am proud of the glory it has brought me personally.
Anybody who does not enjoy your wings, Jarlaxanon, is not worthy of being on the Citadel. These are delicious wings. And he humbly takes them from you and just starts ripping into them. He's got this clean, beautiful suit on, but he just gets sauce all over his face.
I am satisfied. Argument has successfully been diffused. And I step back.
And he looks at you and he says, Jarlaxanon, I hope you survive. And then he just walks out of the room.
Wait,
And he
I am now sensing that was a threat.
Jarlaxanon,
Yes.
is he? Are you comping those? Because I gotta take my notes on where this money is going. So
Oh, this is coming out of my marketing department. It is
Okay.
a write-off.
and Matthias takes notes.
Good. And then I just start staring out the window into space.
Where can I franchise?
Now, as Jim Boyd or Mr. Boyd leaves the meeting hall of the High Council, or he leaves the bridge of the High Council, Thomas Ilford approaches. There's basically a large circular table that would normally seat all the members of the High Council of Heroes, but not all of them are there today, as the council is not expected to be in session. But he gestures for all of you, including Spenning, who is not necessarily on the council, to take a seat. He also gestures to Jimmy, who might just be up here to taste the best wings, and even though he might, I guess, essentially be a tourist, he gestures for him to come and take a seat at the High Council of Heroes, which is, as you would know it, a great honor to have. And he says, "Oh, I'm sorry you guys had to see all that there. We've been dealing with Jim Boyd for some time. I'd be interested to get your guys' opinion on what he was talking about. He wants the High Council of Heroes to offer recognition to his own group. That just seems insane to you. Last time we had two groups was the First War." And he gestures outside the viewport, where you can see now, spinning into view as the Citadel is coming into orbit. You can see this, basically just this black scorch mark right across the middle of Europe.
Excuse me. Pardon me for intruding. I know I'm not on the High Council, but it seems like there could be some financial benefit if you allow them recognition. We could become trading partners with them, and then, potentially foster some goodwill and maybe repair this relationship.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Well, that is some thinking there from the money man, huh? Always thinking about money for some reason, but
I
the words
agree with him. As captain of the Citadel, I believe that we should go down, broker the deal, and make sure all relations are good and stuff.
Well, Spox, make sure you're really talking to your mic, because you're really quiet there, Spox. But
I'm talking into my mic, as you can see on my camera.
well, now you're quite a bit louder for some reason. I don't know why. You must have turned up your.
Maybe get your internet better.
You must have turned up your speakers through your mouth hole on your face, because you're a robot.
If I may step in for a second.
Go ahead, Jarlaxanon.
I need my thinking wings.
It seems he is preparing for some kind of coup with his own group. I have experienced a situation like this back in my home planet. I did the same thing with a neighboring planet. They gave us legitimacy in their government, and then we killed all of them. Ha ha, ha ha, ha ha.
That sounds like a good idea.
He is looking for a legitimate reason to overcome the Citadel, and if not through politics and bureaucracy, he will try through force. I would warn against this. I am not just a chicken salesman. I am also, in a past life, a world conqueror.
I'm also a client.
And then I'm going to turn and keep staring out the window.
Excuse me.
I think he's right.
Sorry to interrupt again. And he's, Matthias is kind of rocking back and forth nervously, because he doesn't like having attention on him, especially when it's superpower people. He says,
And an 18-foot tall robot.
yeah. I still don't know that that would be a good financial move, but I do know somebody else that has an opinion. One moment, clicks his pen, boosh, and Thor pops in and says, "I agree with the Stone Man. I think we need to fight them. We need to protect our sovereignty and
What pops in?
eliminate theirs."
So as he clicks his pen, a bolt of lightning flashes from a
Oh, he
place. that-
Shazams?
yeah, he
Shazams.
Shazams, and
Okay.
he is now Thor.
Oh,
And-
gotcha.
And the pen becomes Mjolnir, and
Pen's
it looks
mightier than the sword, bud.
exactly. Actually, I was going to say that later if I had the opportunity.
sorry,
but
I'm
you
sorry.
ruined it.
We'll cut that out of the
I'll,
live
I'll
stream.
find a
How-
way.
Dare you, Bentley?
But it's looks like a humble blacksmithing hammer. It doesn't look like the ones in the movies.
Nice, a
all
good rounding
gold.
hammer.
Yeah, it's got like a ball peen end on one side, and a flat blunt end on the other side. But yes, I agree with the agate man.
Well, Thor, it's always good to have your opinion on these sorts of things.
I don't know why you keep that other guy around. He's good for numbers, but really he's pretty useless.
I mean,
I think if we did not keep him around, you would cease to exist.
He then turns and stares out the same window that you were staring at.
It is a good window, no?
Why don't you guys go ahead and I don't think that there's any such thing as perception in this game.
Is there like a general awareness?
Yeah, and that's what I need to see real quick. Why don't you guys and roll me d20s, or actually roll me d100s,
You what?
percentiles.
Oh,
Hundreds?
Yeah, hundreds or percentiles or whatever you have.
89.
Okay.
Do you want all the numbers now?
Yeah, just toss them
s-
out.
65.
5. Killing it.
That's a really bad roll.
No shit.
3?
10. 10.
Oh, 10. Okay. So Jimmy and Thor now. And Thor is looking out the window. So I'm going to even say that Thor is kind of the first one, but Jimmy senses Thor tense up. And Thor, having served on board the Citadel, is kind of used to the comings and goings of the spacecraft that dock and board the Citadel routinely. But here he sees one that is moving on course, on a course that is not usual. And even though Spock's isn't aware of it, he's picking up radio traffic that seems completely normal to him, but it says unidentified vessel. By the way, because Spock's has a radio receiver inside of it, so none of you guys hear this, but Spock's does, but he apparently doesn't parse it from the regular radio chatter that he hears. And it says unidentified vessel. Please change course or you will be fired upon. And you
I
kind
opened
of
my mouth. So my mouth speakers, as you were talking about, everyone here, it's like pop rocks. Everyone can hear it.
Sure, but even then you do it too late. And you don't even do it before Jarvis, the disheveled Mark Ruffalo looking one. He says, this one warns, you should brace for impact if you value your physical forms. Now, if anybody wants to, you can heed his warning. You can roll me more D100s right now, or percentile rolls.
Yeah.
I want to find some sort of futuristic looking apparatus that juts out of the wall, like most spaceships have meaningless pipes and stuff going places. I want to try to hook my hammer into it
Right.
to kind of give me a
And being as it this bridge is much more of a kind of a combat information center type thing, there are lots of handholdies because this is where the
Awesome.
senior staff would lead the ship into combat.
and by senior
I
staff
wanna
you mean
try to-
they're old and they need
Yeah.
things to hang
Yeah,
on
they
to.
need the handrails. Yeah.
Okay.
I want to
Yeah.
try to Worf it. You know, Worf was always like back and he always had like the buffet bar to hold on to.
Yeah, sure.
I want to try to Worf it and hold on to the buffet bar. I'm assuming
Worf
there's
it?
a buffet bar for my 18-foot tall ass.
Sure.
I'm gonna turn into my metal form and make myself heavier, and then grab something.
Okay.
Do you want me to roll percentage? Do you want us to roll percentages?
Yes.
Yeah, I want to do the exact same thing. Just make myself heavy.
Yeah,
and then
perfect.
grab something.
Perfect. Yeah,
I
both of
got
you
it.
guys have those powers.
Fuck yeah.
85.
85. Okay.
Yeah.
Spox, what about
Nice.
88.
2, baby, 2.
Jarlaxanon's got a 2. Okay. And Jimmy,
60.
60. So everybody except for Jarlaxanon, all of a
Cool.
sudden you feel this sudden impact just shatter into the throughout the Citadel. And knowing truly how big the Citadel is, it shocks you that
What
it
the
is
goddamn fuck.
right. Exactly. It shocks you how much this thing rocks. You see Thomas Ilford. He's able to deftly stay on his feet. You see Jarvis levitate softly into the air, and as the whole ship rocks, he doesn't move in his fixed point in space. But you see Shinzo, this thing rocks and he tumbles to his feet, but he rolls back onto his feet as though, he was expecting something. And his mutant tortoise son does the same exact thing. Now, Jarlaxanon was completely unable to brace himself in time. However, his metal form just bounces off this super hard, almost impregnable hull of the Citadel. He doesn't even feel anything. He bounces off this thing,
Nice.
and he's like a pinball for a second, just kind of bouncing off the wall and off the ground and all that sort of thing.
I've actually made myself more of a danger to everyone else.
Yeah, exactly. You're like the one person in the car that didn't wear your seatbelt.
Yeah.
But yeah, nothing bad happens to you. And then I'm assuming the other thing that you could have done, Milo, is because am I mistaken? And yeah, you've got gravity, right? So you could also like float if you wanted to. But either way, your weight and all that sort of stuff, able to absorb the blow, no problem. And before you guys are able to recover, those of you who kept your feet, not Jarlaxanon, you can see a swirling, almost like Doctor Strange. This portal opens up right in the center of the room, up above the table, and down comes mysterious figures. All of a sudden, one is shooting a submachine gun at your guys' direction.
Oh,
Go ahead and let's get some, let's see if they hit anybody. First of all, I'll roll some combat against you guys, and then we're going to roll initiative. So get your D20s ready. Okay. Does a 10 hit anybody's AR? And does anybody want to try to do anything, dodge or anything like that? I think most of you guys, let me look. Most of you guys should have a pretty high AR. I'm not quite sure what yours is, Caleb.
I don't have one listed. I only have my SDC.
Yeah, I meant to email you about that. So go ahead and make your AR when you're in Thor form, make it 15. When you're
Okay.
not in Thor form, you don't have that.
It does not hit me.
What was the number again, bud?
10, right?
No, it doesn't hit me.
Milo also, dang, I forgot to put ARs on all of your guys'
Yeah,
stuff.
I'm not seeing
I've got it.
I've got it.
So Milo, go ahead and take since you're probably not wearing any body armor, you're just a really tough dude. Go ahead and take a 12 as your AR since you've got that rigid body. And then Bentley, you're a giant robot, so take a 15.
I've
Oh yeah,
got
yours is 15. Thank
It's
you.
it's already on there.
And I said Caleb's a 15 when you're in Thor form. Okay, so everybody should be set on that. So most of you avoid this hit. Freaking bullets out of a submachine gun, like an Uzi or something. They just blast through. You see Tom Ilford take a bullet right in the shoulder. Shinzo rolls out of the way, and before you know it, his chair that was around his circle is up on end. He has his katana drawn. His son is doing the same thing, except he's sort of like withdrawn into his tortoise shell. Bullets are kind of ricocheting off of this thing. And Jarvis, you can see as bullets are whizzing by, they seem to just kind of like just graze him. And he does not, again, no emotions on his face. Shinzo looks like he's ready to kill people, but Jarvis is just a blank slate. So if you guys are ready to roll your initiatives, let's get those. Roll D20s.
And then what do we add?
Most of you will not have anything to add, but if you do, it's down on your quick combat reference on your character sheet. Dash, you have a +1.
Gotcha.
Bentley has a 2.
But what is initiative? Oh, okay, I see it.
Yeah.
I got a 13.
I got a 15.
Okay.
17.
Go ahead. 17?
Yeah.
Milo?
8.
8. Okay. Okay. So let me get these dudes out of the way real quick. Okay. So we are going to go ahead. Caleb in Thor form, he was just like ready for this thing with his watching that ship crash into the Citadel and everything. You are under attack. There are right now 5 unknown assailants in this room. They are equipped to the teeth. Most of them have machine guns. You are not aware if they have powers or not. They are wearing just dark black suits with black ties.
Ooh, like MIB style.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
It's a good movie. I love that first one.
Yeah.
That's so good.
And the third one.
Never seen it.
So explain to me how my special powers work in terms of melee, because don't some of them cost like 2 melee or something like that?
Yeah. So, for example, if you wanted to throw your hammer, the throw is 1, and then returning it to your hand is 1.
Okay. Am I close enough to just? Am I in melee range with anybody?
No, but you are fast enough
Mm-hmm.
that you can close the gap. You can also use, if you wanted, you have your like electric flight ability.
Yeah.
That costs 2 actions, but that would like you can just slam into people with that, or you can get right up on somebody. But you can easily close the distance. You are fast enough in Thor form that just using your 2 legs, you can close the distance on any of them.
Okay. Almost as if it's instinctual, because I saw the ship coming. I knew something curious was afoot. I immediately pounce on the one that just shot at everyone.
Yeah.
And I want to try to like take him down and hammer down on him.
Cool. So yeah, basically, I imagine you were by the window. He's kind of in the middle of the circular table. You jump 1 foot on that table. You're in the air. Boom. Feet come down on top of him. Hammer comes swinging down, but you're going to have to give me an attack roll. So go ahead and roll a D20.
Okay. And then add strike.
Yeah.
Okay. That would be an 18.
Oh, yeah. 18 is going to hit his armor, but he's going to try and dodge. Oh my God, dude. And he just crit failed on his dodge. So like you see him try to like roll out of the way as your feet are coming down, and your feet just connects like right on his shoulders. He flattens to the ground as though he's like a springboard in your next jump. But instead of you jumping to the next guy, your hammer just comes swinging right down. Go ahead and roll me damage,
Cool.
which for your special hammer
66.
6d6.
Okay.
Nice.
So I'm going to call out the numbers and you add them up.
Please.
5,
That's 5.
5,
That's 10.
ooh, and 11.
That's 21.
So 21 hammer
Damage
damage.
you can drink.
21 hammer damage plus
Your hammer's getting hammered.
19. So that's 40 damage.
So where does the plus 19 come from?
Your strength.
Oh.
Your strength is superhuman in Thor form.
Mm.
Nice job.
Thanks.
So you do 40 damage to this guy. It bypasses his armor. Like he's wearing body armor clearly under his suit, but you bring that hammer down just right on his face, and in the most violent fashion you can think of, where there was once a head, there is now like a mushy like watermelon. It's
Who's seen Pan's Labyrinth?
I have.
great movie.
Yeah, towards the end when he's taking the wine bottle and smashing in the
Oh
guy's
God,
face.
the guy's
Yeah.
nose.
Yeah,
Right.
Brad
Yeah.
Pitt in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
that one too.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. So it's exactly like that. Now your eyes just burn with like electrical energy as the power of Mjolnir courses through your body. You flatten this dude. You flatten him. He's dead.
And you see arcing every time the hammer makes contact.
Yeah,
and you
just-
can hear the crackles.
Yeah, and it's like a thunderbolt just rippling through the bridge of the Citadel as he hits him. We're going on
And you
to
hear ping, ping, as if I'm making a sword.
we are going on to Spock's gear boot. It's your turn, buddy. There are 4 enemies clad in black suits. You just saw Thor just summon the power of his hammer and flatten this dude.
Yeah. So are they clumped together or are they all spaced out or what's the deal?
So I will say that the radius
Could I
or
fire-
the
and this is a terrible thing for me to say. Could I fire into a crowd?
yeah, you may. Yeah,
like I would hit multiple of them.
with
if I
any
did that?
almost any of your guns, even your machine gun,
Yeah, that's what
could
I'm looking
do
at.
a
My
s-
heavy machine gun.
and you would hit Thor.
Oh, he's close to him.
So if you use your heavy machine gun, yeah, he's he's close. If you wanted to spray with your heavy machine gun, you absolutely may. You will take a minus, and you will spend. You could do it either. You have to spend 2 attacks, or you can spend all 4 of your attacks for this round, and you can just spray at them. But you're gonna hit Thor possibly. He can roll to dodge, but
I don't know if I would do that because while I'm, I do know that he is my compatriot,
Yeah.
and I do not want to necessarily hit him.
And one thing that you know for sure is that you're an 18-foot tall robot, and you were designed for like vehicle to vehicle combat or to fight
Yeah.
other giant robots. Like that's what you were made for. Your powers or your equipment that you
Yeah,
have
yeah,
is that
yeah.
powerful.
So I have a utility arm
Yes.
in which I have a torch, a saw, and a hacker. I don't know what
Yes.
a hacker is.
A hacker. Yeah, I meant to describe that to you. Basically,
Maybe
think about
it's a big axe.
I was thinking more like the little thing that R2D2 has in Star Wars, like.
Oh,
A thumb
electronic-
drive.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So here's the thing I forgot. to
Angelina
put-
Jolie's hackers, right?
Right. Now, your hand-to-hand ability is quite strong. You just don't have weapons necessarily.
So I would want to take out my. Could I use my utility arm and then like saw some of these people in half? Like take a giant step towards them and then be like, "Zzz."
I'll allow it. Yeah, for
All
sure.
right.
Now that saw is meant for like cutting cars open and like rescuing people. So imagine what it'll do to this person. I'm totally on board.
it will cut them in half.
Like what I said.
Yeah, exactly. I just want you to know.
The intended consequence.
I understand how saws and humans work.
So you can either just run up and try to cut them with your utility arm, or you can like grab them with your regular arms and then try to use your like utility. Yeah.
And like bring them into me like it's a wood chipper.
yes. Yeah,
Oh,
that'd be cool.
100% doing the wood chipper.
Okay. I'm on board.
What do I roll for that?
So
'Cause
first you
I
need
don't
to
have any-
first you need to roll me an attack roll,
with
which is a
20?
D20.
Okay.
And real quick, I just wanted to bring up whatever. And they're going to continue
To that.
yeah, you can add your strike bonus for this one.
Strike, which is plus 15.
Yes.
Okay. Then 34.
Okay. And they do not resist your grapple.
Well,
Which
of course
we're
they don't.
gonna-
I'm a fucking robot.
And we're gonna go ahead and say your grapple is
Shall
one
not
attack.
resist me.
Your grapple is one attack, but you can spend the next attack which will leave you with 2 for the rest of the melee to saw this dude.
For
And
this
so-
round or the entire thing?
For this round.
Gotcha. Okay. I will spend the second attack to put him through the buzzsaw and cut him in half.
Yeah, and I will say that he is unable to resist it since he failed his last roll. So go ahead and roll me.
There's
Yeah,
no-
we're gonna do damage. We are gonna have to do damage. So go ahead and roll me like a. What do you think? A saw probably does like 4d6. Roll me 4d6.
okay.
Because I said it's for cutting open cars. So
12 sawing people in half damage.
12 sawing people in half damage. So what happens is this saw goes and it just starts cutting right into his torso, like right below his belly button. You start seeing blood going everywhere. The man is like shaking violently. However, he's wearing sort of armor that seems to like, just like in real life, how they make that stuff that gums up chainsaws, like something gums up your saw. So this man is like cut a quarter of the way through, but the saw stops. He's taking tremendous blood loss damage.
God.
He does have to roll to stay
You-
conscious.
You feeble human, you shall not attack my ship. I am the captain of this ship. I am in charge, and I will cut you in half. Except for the fact that my saw is gummed up on your jams.
So he failed his roll to stay conscious. So he's like a limp
Yeah.
form inside your body, but your saw is gummed up. You're not going to be able to use it to finish the job on your next turn.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
So we're going to the next guy. One of these dudes in black suits. He's just come out of this portal, and he is looking right at Jimmy, who I'm assuming didn't necessarily have a plate of chicken wings in front of him. Maybe those went flying away in the wreck, but
Oh no, I got a bucket. I'm holding.
he's got a bucket. Okay,
I'm not gonna
even
let
better.
it go.
Even better. So he levels his submachine gun at
Yeah,
you.
he's got that 20 piece, right? You know, he's got that family bucket.
Yeah. He levels his submachine gun at you, and this will be interesting depending on what you want to do. Sorry, I just want to make sure. And he is going to basically just burst this thing at you. 16 is going to hit you. Now you can either roll to
So I want to use my deflect kinetic
perfect.
objects. So that gives me a +4 to my parry,
Perfect. So roll your parry then.
and I only have a +1 naturally. So I got 18.
Dude, so this is incredible. So that this dude levels his gun right at Jimmy, and he just unloads a burst on him. What you guys see is these bullets, and he's got like tracers like every other round or something like that. So you can see those like white lights zipping out, and they are just arcing in multiple directions. Now, are you just trying to like send them away, or are you sending them back?
Oh, can I redirect them?
So here's one thing I wasn't sure of. Did you have the minor power or the major power?
It's
for-
the minor one.
Okay, so you can just redirect them then. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, because I was looking at the major one and I was hoping that you would just be like, I have the major one because there's some crazy shit. But the minor one is just as powerful if you use it correctly in its own way. So yeah,
But yeah, I've got like one of my chicken wings, and I'm just kind of like waving it back and forth as the bullet comes in.
perfect. So you guys just see these tracer bullets go in all directions like that, and he doesn't even seem phased. Now, however, that parry maneuver does take away one of your attacks. So just mark that. It says bullets can't be parried, but you have that ability, so we allow it.
Oops.
That's okay, because you have this ability to like redirect these things, so it's a superpower. Now, moving on, that dude missed. We are going on to Jarlaxanon. You've seen these dudes. You just saw Thor smash a dude's head off. You saw Spock's try to saw a man in half by grabbing him. Jimmy just like flings these bullets all around him. What is Jarlaxanon doing?
So where I got tossed around to after the initial whatever, did I happen to land next to like a computer console or something with energy in it?
Ooh.
Let me roll. We'll find out how lucky you are. So yeah, essentially you can tell that the impact of the ship or whatever it was smashing into the Citadel knocked out a lot of sort of subsystems, but just like on board the Enterprise and Star Trek The Next Generation, you totally find like some sort of junction box or something like that that's still kind of sparking out energy.
Cool. Can I put my hand on it, absorb energy, and then discharge it into my laser gun?
Okay, so your absorb energy ability, what we can say is, since you can do that, we can say that you already had some energy absorbed if you want to do that. That way you don't have to waste time doing that.
Okay.
Does that sound okay to you?
Can I throw something out there?
Yeah.
And-
Please.
And you guys can obviously veto, but while I'm in Thor form, there's constantly kind of this little static aura that's being generated. It's pretty small, but there's the potential that you could be absorbing that anytime I'm in Thor mode, just for kind of basic fuel for your whatever it is you guys are talking about.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's cheating or
No, that's
what,
not cheating.
but
I mean,
just like you make chicken wings for Jimmy, I make electricity for you.
That'd be sweet.
yeah, honestly, I would say that like his ability probably allows him to sort of sense
Power source.
power sources like that. So yeah, I'm totally on board with that.
Okay. Well, if I already had some energy, then can I discharge it into my laser rifle, and then I want to fire it at one of the guys?
Yeah, absolutely. Why not? And we'll even increase the damage output of your gun if you want to discharge it into the item to like supercharge it.
Yeah.
We'll increase it by 2, like twice the amount.
Double?
Yeah. So just roll your 66, right? And then double it.
Rhett, what's this game called again? Superheroes Unlimited?
Heroes
Unlimited.
Unlimited.
Heroes Unlimited?
So what do I got to roll to see if I hit him?
A D20.
And then what do I add, or is there anything I add?
So if you want to take an aimed strike, God, I should have done a better job flagging some of these. If you want to take an aimed strike, aiming will take one of your attacks and shooting will take another one, but you can take bonuses to strike. Otherwise, you have a plus. Otherwise, you don't have anything shooting a gun. So you can either aim, or you can burst, or you can shoot wild. And well, you're not shooting wild, so yeah. So either you have to aim it, which will eat up one of your attacks, or you just shoot and you don't get any bonuses.
Yeah, I'll aim it and then I'll shoot.
Okay. So go ahead and take a +3.
Okay. That's 16.
That's a hit on past his armor. So go ahead and roll 66, and then we'll double your result.
Okay.
Bentley, the YouTube link for our live stream.
Got it.
Yeah, you have the funniest face on the screen grab that they have for the thumbnail that pops up.
Okay, so that is gonna be 78 damage.
Okay. So now,
78.
78, yeah.
so while you guys are familiar with alien technology, after all, you're standing on the bridge of the Citadel, which was not constructed by human beings, but extraterrestrials. You've not seen the likes of this rifle that this crystalline mineral sort of being produces from somewhere on his person. It almost seems to blend in with his rocky carapace as he draws it. And you see him sort of almost like this energy flows from his hands, and you see kind of the chamber of this laser rifle emanate with some sort of extra energy. It almost seems like it's going to explode before it discharges out of the barrel of this rifle and just slams into one of these other dudes. And there is no corpse left behind. He's an utter just pile of vapor, just turns into a puff of vapor and floats away.
Nice.
You just watched Jarlaxanon unleash alien technologies and remove a person from existence.
Done and
Okay.
done.
So after
Just kill it.
oh man, so unfortunately too, so that knocks out that next guy. So one of the other enemies who was going to attack was just vaporized. It now goes to Jimmy, who just basically deflected these bullets from around him. What is he going to do now? So he just saw one guy get his head smashed. Another guy get almost sawed, and he's being held by an 18-foot robot. He saw another one get vaporized. There's 2 other people that have not fallen unconscious or been killed yet.
Okay. And you said that the portal, they came through a portal above?
Yes.
Okay.
And the portal is still currently open, but
Okay, that was the other question I had.
yeah, your familiarity with it leads you to think that probably close. I don't know, maybe next melee round or the one after that.
Okay, so I want to take a bite of one of my chicken wings, just put like the whole thing in my mouth and drag it out with only bones, and I'm going to toss it at one of the guys, and I'm going to subtract 100 pounds from them. Try to make them weightless and float up into the portal, back up into the portal.
That's sick.
Okay. Absolutely.
Just cleaning wings, and then it's like,
You done.
Yeah, absolutely. You have no trouble. Yeah, basically just like, I guess like zeroing out gravity around this dude and like sucking him back up into the portal. And he's gone in the portal now.
Oh, that's better.
This is not going, I think, the way they expected it to go.
Oh dear God.
Phew, okay, cool. That was neat. So there's
So
only
that was the end of round 1.
there's only one dude left, and he's gonna take a pot shot. He sees Thor sitting there. What the heck did I just do with? Sorry guys, I'm losing my mind here. He's gonna take a pot shot, just spraying wildly at Thor. I don't remember what you had for AR. Does a 12 hit?
No.
Okay, then
It
this dude misses. And we go back up to the top of the order. The melee is still continuing. This is still the same round. Some of you have used 2 attacks. Some of you have used 1. So make sure you try to keep track of that. I'm doing my best as well. But we're back up to the top of the order with Thor, who has just attacked. These bullets whiz all around you. It's almost like as though the fear got into his hands and he couldn't hit you.
Yeah. That doesn't surprise Thor. So I am going to turn my head, snap to where the gunfire came from, and I'm going to pounce on him. But instead of killing him, I want to try to pin him down and knock his weapon from his hand. And I believe there was some sort of disarm strike in the book, but I don't remember how to do it.
Yeah, there is, but that's one thing I wasn't quite sure about because nobody really gets a bonus to a disarm thing. Let me look. I've got it right here.
I think there was like a dex check or, the equivalent of something like that, like physical
Right.
agility or prowess. I don't know.
Right. Yeah, so Disarming strike is not in the list. It should be.
I know I read about it this morning.
Yeah. No, you're not wrong. Let me make sure it's not in the other rulebook here real quick if you guys don't mind. Because that would be good to have. Combat terms, hand to hand. Here we go. Okay.
Page 71 on the second edition, I think.
Gotcha. Looking right now. Yeah. Okay. Okay. It's not on that page, but I think it might be above. Disarm.
Attack designed not to injure, but to knock a weapon out of opponent's hand.
Okay, so yeah, you guys just roll off again.
Just like a normal attack, but it's like non-lethal damage essentially.
Right.
Okay. So D20 and my modifier. Uh-oh. Oh no. Is there anything like luck points in this game?
No.
Okay, well I got an 8 total.
So unfortunately he beat you. So as you try to rip this gun out of his hands or whatever you do, you find that his will is above what you were expecting, and he just white knuckles his gun on this thing, and you are unable to pry it from his hands. And what's more is he basically fires off a couple shots as you're trying to pull it out of his hands. And does a 14 hit you?
No.
Oh, dang. Okay.
It just makes me more angry.
So basically I'll say, so it's high enough that it hits you, but all the bullets just ricochet off the armor that Thor is kind of wearing.
Okay.
And you take no damage. Now it is, that guy's dead. So now it goes to Spox. It's your turn. You've got this dude.
Ready.
He's unconscious in your hands. There's one other guy. Thor tried to disarm him.
And I yell out as I'm making my move that we need to question him.
And there's only one left.
Yep.
Well,
At the
I'm going to
moment.
drop the half cut and the guy that I half cut in half.
Your scraps.
Yeah, my scraps. I'm going to throw him down. I'm sure all of his blood and guts and his poo poo goes everywhere. And then, oh, gosh, I'm so big. All of my stuff is going to hurt all of these people.
Yes.
So I'm just going to look at him and say, because my initial thought was like, oh, dispense tow cable and like wrap him up like I'm Indiana Jones. But that would likely cut him in half as well.
Yeah, if you shoot him with your tow cable, he will definitely
Yeah,
be
get
hurt.
cut in half. So I will point my finger at him menacingly and be like,
You there, stop. Don't go anywhere unless you want the tow cable of death.
I appreciate that.
Am Spock's gearbutt, and I hereby declare you will not go anywhere.
I'm going to see if he saves. And I'll go ahead and say, because he just crit failed on a save
fuck yeah, he did.
for intimidation. And I'll say that he throws his gun down. Now, as it stands, combat has ended. You guys destroyed these guys without taking so much as a scratch. Jimmy launched a dude back up into the portal. But the portal is still open. And what's more is Spock's basically on his combat radar starts picking up multiple ships outside of the Citadel, closing in hard and fast. Do you report this to your teammates?
Yes. Guys, there's a ship coming in hot and fast. Not just
Multiple ships.
multiple ships, like multiple baskets of wings, coming in hot and fast. Fresh, clean, and delicious.
Sounds
And-
good.
And you see the other members of the council still sort of cowering down. Shinzo never had quite an opportunity to even use his gleaming katana because you guys cleaned up these dudes so fast. But it's almost as though right as you think that you've basically finished up business, Jarvis, disheveled Mark Ruffalo fellow, he stands up and he says, "It is not complete yet." And through the portal, right before it shuts down, a figure wearing a mask, when you look into it, seems to just be black as the cosmic void. He has no features on his face. As you look in, it looks as though you're like looking into, I don't know, like a portal to another world. You can see distant stars encased in his mask. And he is wearing another kind of all black suit, but this time instead of like a white shirt and black, he's all black suit, black shirt, black tie. And everywhere you look, it's as though there's distant stars you're seeing through his suit. The only thing that you can see any skin of is his hands.
Hands.
And we're going to leave it there for this episode.
Those look like Kendall Ann hands, and I'm not a fan of Kendall Ann hands.
You guys are not out of the frying pan yet. A new foe has settled down. It seems to upset Jarvis a little bit. Spox reports multiple incoming ships coming onto the Citadel, but you guys handled these goons as though they were toys. I mean, seriously. One-shot kills all around. The only one
Yay.
that managed to handle it with non-violence was Jimmy.
Jimmy.
But who knows? Like maybe that guy you threw up into the portal just leveled up and dropped down in his superhero attire. But we'll find out when we come back. See what happens to the High Council of Heroes on board the Citadel. They are under attack. Are they under attack by Jim Boyd? I think Jarlaxanon thinks that they are because he heard that threat. So we'll find out when we come back shortly on our special edition of Chaotic Amateurs, Heroes Unlimited Edition. Cool. And I'm going to stop the recording right there and save.
I'm Spox.
Oh, I already stopped it. Sorry.
Well, you fucked up. This is why you're not the real leader of Metagame Minute.
You're not wrong. I'm just the inventor.
It's me.
I came up with that. And also, you're not recording the Metagame Minute.
Yeah, I am.
We're not doing that?
Oh, right now? You want to do that right now?
Well, I mean, that's how it works. We do an episode, we do a Metagame Minute. I didn't know.
Okay.
Are we not doing that?
No, let's do it. I'm ready. I can just start rolling
Well,
again.
this one was going to be a bonus one in the feed, the main feed, probably on a different day than Metagame Minute. So
So
we
my
don't
recording
need to do one.
That's fine. My recording picked up right where I left off. Oh, Milo's already gone. But let's talk
Yeah.
about, hey guys, welcome to special edition Chaotic Amateurs Heroes Unlimited Edition Metagame Minute. We're here to talk about a little bit of Heroes Unlimited. The rules are messy. The pace is supposed to be fast, but we sometimes get bogged down by the freaking
By our DM talking?
Yes. Now, what did you guys think of Heroes Unlimited? What did you guys think of your hero? What were you expecting with other people's heroes? That sort of thing. Go ahead. Why don't you take us off, Dash, since you're dancing, you're antsy.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm really excited about my character because I think he's awesome and he's a superhero I'd like to see. And by the way, when combat started, I ripped off my manager apron.
Nice.
And I'm always in
your
my,
sailor hat, your paper
I'm
hat.
always in my planet's ceremonial battle garb, which is more like it's kind of like a tunic kind of thing.
Right.
With like a cool little hood. And no sleeves, obviously, because you guys
Of course.
the guns off. But yeah, no, I'm really excited. I also like everyone's character is very unique, and no one's powers kind of like intersect at all. Everyone has their own kind of very unique.
I'm an 18-foot tall robot.
Yeah, and Milo is just a chicken wing powered big dude.
Yeah. I know when we were
Strangest
making his
mutant.
character, we were talking about some of the oddities of character creation that you can include in your hero, and one of them is a specialty called the Popeye syndrome. And Milo, just coming back from a quick break, we're doing a quick metagame minute talking about this, and we're talking your character Jimmy. There was a thing in the book called Popeye syndrome, which is kind of like it sounds. You can't activate your powers, or not activate your powers, but you can't use them after a certain amount of time without having eaten some sort of special food or done some sort of special ritual. For Popeye, it's spinach, but for Jimmy, it's chicken wings.
Oh, that's a
chicken.
great.
He's
That's a
like
great
the-
superpower.
Like the Tiger King version of fucking Ball from like our main feed.
Oh yeah.
Ball has aura, and this guy's like, oh goddamn, gotta give me some fucking chicken wings down there.
Right.
I'm excited to see some of the extra things he like the
And
creative
Milo, what is
ways
your
that you can
character
use
exactly?
gravity.
I had to take my heads off because that dum I think knocked on my door when you were talking about it.
What's
Yeah.
that?
Tell us about your power. They want to know about your
What's your
power.
character specifically? Like, what does it look like? I missed it.
Oh, he's a human. He looks pretty much like that the guy from My 600-Pound Life.
Oh, that's
He's got like a light blue T-shirt on and his belly's hanging.
No,
out.
yeah, I made the blade
Yeah.
joke. My bad.
yeah. But no, yeah, I have power over kinetic energy and gravity manipulation, and I also have another power that I completely forgot about, where I can control light. I guess I don't know.
Yeah. So yeah, does that let you control light exactly, or
Well,
Energy
gravity.
expulsion of light. It's actually an attack that I have.
oh, you picked that? Okay. I
Yeah.
didn't put that on
Well,
your sheet. But as long as
I
you
have
have it,
that. And I also have strength. Yeah, I've got my original sheet here because I took the 1 major and 3 minors.
three
Sounds like one of
minors.
mine.
Okay. Okay. So
so
some of my
different
stuff on
things.
your sheet's probably a little wrong, but
I think the stats were all right. And I think most of the checks that you put in there were right, but there was just a couple of things that were a little off.
okay.
But I've got this original sheet, so I'm good.
Cool. As long as you got that, I'm totally happy. But yeah, he's got some really cool powers. I was excited to see like the gravity manipulation power utilized, because like I've played this game for years and I've never had that power used, and it's just so cool, like the things that you can do with it. Obviously, like making the dude just anti-gravity up into the portal is really cool, but he can also like
sweet.
he can also make things or people heavier, imposing disadvantages on them and things like that, which is pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, they get disadvantages, but they're floating as well. Like
yeah.
there's a lot of really cool stuff I was reading through
Yeah.
powers.
That's really neat. So Thor, you didn't get into too many of your powers except for activating your enchanted weapon and smashing dude with Mjolnir.
Yeah.
Do you want to share anything else? Or you want to leave it a secret? We told.
I think I'll leave it. Yeah, you did mention that I can assume, or essentially turn into a
Produce.
lightning bolt.
Yeah.
And,
Oh yeah.
And basically travel as a lightning bolt quickly. I didn't use it, but if the distance was great enough and the need was great enough, I could do that. And I think you did hint at the fact that some people can generate a source of electricity, and
Yeah.
I am one of those.
Yeah.
But no, I'm happy. I'm really excited about this game. I think it's really fun. I think it's all the things about character creation, and just the wide array of things because it's not just simply class
Yeah.
and race and all that stuff. Like you can mix and match so many different options and things. I love it. Some of the I see what you're saying about some of the rules. Kind of the process is a little dry, a little crunchy, but I think overall I'm enjoying this game quite a bit. I see why people either love it or hate it, and I think I'm falling into the in love.
Yeah, the rules are wonky and everything's weird, but like once you figure it out, and I think like once I bet you like by the time we come back into our next session of this, we'll have some stuff a little bit more streamlined. I tried to have some like bookmarks in the book just to like be able to flip back and forth between a few things, but I lost them before we started, so it kind of throws me off. But yeah, really the way to look at the rule book is not like here's a whole system. It's like really almost more like a character creation guide because
Yeah.
that's all that's in there, and the rules kind of come out naturally from that. What about you, Bentley? Spox, you didn't use any of your weapons, which I'm kind of relieved that you didn't, because like I kind of mentioned to him, he is like, well, he's a transformer for one, and he's designed for like vehicle to vehicle or giant robot to giant robot combat, like his weapons are extremely powerful, and to use them maybe even on board a spaceship might not be the wisest thing.
Yeah, because I'm an 18-foot tall fucking robot, and I'm and that's small, really.
Yeah.
In comparison, but I'm sleek, I'm agile, I'm the Dash of robots, and
Haha, me.
then but I'm I'm the captain of the ship, and my whole deal is that, like, I've been kicked off, and like I've sort of been, I actually now, because of the story, I think I've been sort of mutinied against in a way, and like I've got to earn back my ship, or figure out whatever mystery or this adventure that we've been put on. It is very difficult for me because, like, I see these these new friends that are around me or whatever, and I go, man, all I want to do is use like my fucking particle beam cannon or my missile launcher or my heavy machine gun, and shit like that. But I would probably blow everyone else up in the room, and then also do irreparable damage to the ship, in which we might fall out of the sky into Earth's atmosphere and orbit, and then land in a country or a continent or the ocean, and then create another dystopian future. So I have to be very responsible as this robot and be like, I will only cut you with my gut saw.
You're
Yeah.
essentially a tank inside of a spaceship right now.
Yeah, essentially.
Bull in a china shop. And because, like, if it were all robots fighting, wouldn't fucking think twice about it. If it was just like a Transformer battle, wouldn't fucking think twice about it.
Yeah.
But
one thing too,
I got this fucking bozo over here fucking eating chicken wings, and I'm like, well, I don't want to fuck up the chicken wing guy. Like, he hit that flat pretty hard. He split the wings. He cleared the fucking bones, and now he's back in the fight, baby. And I don't want to fuck him up.
Yeah. One thing that I forgot to mention to you, and I'm kind of briefly touched on it in the email, but it's not necessarily on your character sheet, is so like you have two different sets of like engines. One is for like flight in your other mode.
Sweet.
And the other one, though, can be also used in your humanoid form to fly around like Iron Man. So you can fly.
Yeah, I've got like a hover thing.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
But
As long
also,
as
I'm pretty much bigger than everyone else in that room at this point, so that felt unnecessary to me.
You're absolutely correct. I just wanted you to
I
know.
figured they'd be intimidated enough that the fucking 18-foot tall robot came towards them and like fucking King Kong like down and grabbed him and was like, "You come here."
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah. Yeah. It might come in handy in the next episode, but we'll find out. Did anybody else have anything they wanted to talk about, or can we get on to the next sesh?
Next,
Ow.
please.
Grab your sword, keep on adventuring.
Bitch.
Okay, cool.
Grab your superpowers and keep on blowing.
Yep. I have to go pee real quick, but I'll be right
Hey,
back.
it's me, Dash. Grab your superpowers and keeps on doing
The
stuff. Everyone just fucking leaves. Oh, you poor live viewers. Hey, live viewers, how you doing out there? If you're a live viewer out there watching right now, I just want to say thank you for watching. Oh,
Where did everyone go?
you're just all the best people. I'm just gonna kiss all of your faces off. Oh, jiggle jiggle, boner wiggle. Poor YouTube. Our tens of viewers. How you feeling today, bud?
Pretty good. Yeah.
Good.
Definitely relaxing.
Good.
Been watching a lot of documentaries on Netflix.
Yeah. What kind of docs?
What is that? Fixing a drug scandal. That was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Like a couple of like drug testing companies had people working for them that were using the drugs and taking the drugs while they were
Oh,
performing the tests. Yeah. So it kind of made them have to throw out a bunch of court cases and stuff. It was
damn.
interesting.
Did you watch my documentary?
No. What
It's on,
documentary?
it's on Amazon Prime.
Oh, really? What is that? Tell me about it.
Well, hi guys, Bentley Michaels here, and if you have Amazon Prime, Rhett, keep your dick in your pants for fuck's sake. Oh, sorry, Rhett, keep your dick in your pants for fuck's sake. And but if you go to Amazon Prime, it's about this singer. It's called Little Girl with the Big Voice, and fucking Corona, Jesus, and and it's called Little Girl with the Big Voice, and it's about this singer named Mary Small, who was like, it was like during the transition from radio to television, and she was just like this 11-year-old kid, and everyone thought she was a fucking adult with like how great she sang. And then, you know, it's like her sort of her journey through Hollywood and that sort of shit. She married Vic Mizzy, who ended up writing like the Addams Family theme song and shit like that. And her grandson found out he was adopted and found out he was related to her, and he worked at Paramount Pictures at the time. And he fucking he put out a Craigslist ad. I narrated the doc, and went to a bunch of film festivals and shit like that. It's like, it's 45 minutes. It's a good watch if you got Amazon Prime and you like that sort of old Hollywood shit.
Yeah, it looks like fun. Yeah, I just found it here.
And you get to hear my voice, Maleficent voice. You're welcome.
When are you and Bentley, or not Bentley? When are you and Tony gonna do some 45th, some new 45th?
I'm doing one after this. Tony can't just because he doesn't have a microphone right now, or he doesn't have a setup. But I'm doing one actually after this. I'm doing a new 45th parallel.
Oh, nice.
And, yeah, I'm doing some real silly shit. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be another solo bolo, and I will probably release like an archive one like today, and then release like a new one next week. Oh Jesus. Rhett, quit touching your face. Yeah, your mic's off, bud.
I touched, or fuck, fuck you. I wash my hands. I'll touch whatever I want to touch.
Gross. I touch what I want to touch, do what I want to do. Blah 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 blah. The Addams Family.
Addams Family. All right. As soon as we get Dash, we'll start rolling.
Real quick, now that you're all back.
Oh, you motherfucker.
Sorry, I wanted to make a burrito. This game's fun. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, it's fun just how much like crazy stuff there is. And we're gonna be fighting a lot of people with like superpowers and stuff, but like if we weren't, it's just funny that like you could just walk around like a god and like
Yeah. Just annihilate
Just like my
things.
character, I just get to be a fat guy that eats chicken wings. There's just nothing better.
Yeah.
Will you make sure to not kill us so we can maybe do a longer campaign or something with these guys?
Yeah. If you guys survive, for sure.
Oh, we'll survive.
Yeah. Thor will be just fine.
Will he? Will he be?
Although Rhett could throw like an enemy that has an ability to like shoot a liquid that melts rock or metal or whatever.
Yeah, just dissolve your
incinerates
leg
me.
off.
You're just like, oh god.
Yeah, I think you guys will like the powers that this guy has. It's going to affect two of you guys pretty harshly.
I like the description of them so far.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to start rolling.
Yeah. Me too.
Welcome back, everybody, to this special edition of Chaotic Amateurs, Heroes Unlimited edition. Of course, if you haven't listened to the last episode, you should go back and get a little bit of an inkling of what you're in for. We are playing the old school Palladium Games Heroes Unlimited system, in which we have created some superheroes, but I'm creating my own custom spin on it. We are playing in a world of superheroes, essentially, where most people have powers, even very minor ones. But this week, I guess I haven't said it. I'm your DM, Rhett. And if we want to go around the table quickly, introduce your character and who you are, and we'll jump right into this business. Starting at the top with Dashel.
I will be. I'm Dash, and I'll be playing Jarlaxanon, an alien rock metal energy. You get it.
Normal order for our show.
I am Bentley Michaels, playing Spock's Gearbot, an 18-foot tall robot that possibly can transform into something else.
Does he also believe in conspiracy theories?
I love a good conspiracy. The oil companies. Oh, don't get my gears going.
Does he have a podcast called 45th Gear?
The 45th gear. Oh, no, the 45th sprocket. These sprockets are nuts.
Sprockets.
And I am Caleb, playing an accountant. All right, Milo, you're up.
I'm Milo. I'm playing
Hi, I'm Caleb. This is my autobiography.
Jimmy, the chicken wing eating, gravity manipulating, kinetic energy using 600-pound life guy.
Nice.
And he's a human?
He's a mutant,
Oh.
but he just looks like a human. He's got blonde hair with a bowl cut.
Oh, so he's like the 70s version of the Blob in the X-Men card in the comics.
Sure, yeah. Actually, yeah, that's exactly what he looks like.
If you'll remember, the Citadel, the capital spaceship that houses the High Council of Heroes, has come under attack by unknown forces, presumably related to Jim Boyd, the man who came seeking representation for his own organization. And a portal opened up on the bridge of the Citadel and came down. Basically, I don't know, like Yakuza type folks. They're wearing all black suits, submachine guns, but our heroes easily dispatched them almost in one hit every single time. And now, standing before them, all black, like staring into the cosmic void, we set our stage. So, Shinzo, Tom Milford, and Jarvis come out of hiding. And Tom Milford says, in his weird New York accent that I don't think I'm going to be able to recover. And he's like, well, this needs to end now. I take it you're the one in charge. The man in black does not respond. And if any of you guys want to cut me off to take action or anything, you are more than welcome to. But the man in black does not respond.
I look at the dirty twin, Jarvis,
Yes.
and I want to like gauge his reaction to all this, because he seems to be the pessimist of the two and a little bit more aware of this negative stuff that's going on.
In fact, he almost seems to feel your gaze on him, and you hear reverberating inside your skull a voice that sounds like that of Mark Ruffalo. And it says, this one will require your assistance. And that's all there is, nothing else. Telepathically delivered straight into your brain.
Am I used to that, being around these guys?
Yes, you are absolutely familiar with Jarvis's powers, which tend to be more of the mind than anything else.
I nod knowingly, and I get my hammer up.
I would like to go out of my rock form.
You find, okay, you wait out of your rock form.
Yes.
Into your metal form.
And yes, into my normal form, and then I want to activate my anti-gravity ring.
Okay, your anti-gravity ring works perfectly. However, when you reach into that special spot into your mind to turn metal, you find that it's simply not there.
Damn it. Son of a bitch.
But your anti-gravity ring, it works flawlessly.
Really fucking me over here.
Oh, also your ring can't support you while you're in metal form anyway. But
I know. I wanted to be out of my metal form.
So you said this guy's like a Vanta Black, like he's
Oh.
super dark looking, right?
yeah, super dark looking. It's as though light is just being sucked into his clothes, but from all angles, it's though as you're viewing distant stars, distant galaxies.
Well, I think I should probably try to light this guy up, and I'm just going to use an energy blast.
You reach for that spot in your mind where your energy blast usually is, and it is not there. Just holding out your hand with like a chicken wing in the other, and it's just not there.
Can I shoot at him with my laser rifle?
The trigger on your laser rifle works flawlessly. So yes.
Oh, okay, sweet. And I'll can I take aim?
Why not? Do it. This will be a surprise attack. Then we'll have to roll initiatives afterwards. But go ahead and take a +3 if you take aim.
Okay. 21.
Okay. So what you see is just like last time, except maybe you're not supercharging your rifle. The chamber of this rifle, alien looking to the rest of you, standard issue to Jarlaxanon. It boom shoots a searing red hot missile, a laser beam out of the barrel, and it disappears as it hits this person, and seems to almost like it just goes on to space until it dissipates.
Cool.
Should we allow some more exposition between the characters to figure out why he's here?
Absolutely. So Shinzo, the rat, steps forward, using his snout, his weird face. He says, "There is always a way to resolve this peacefully. State your demands now." But there is no words to come back. Now, Spox is aware. He's been tracking these ships, as many ships as he can simultaneously track at once, which I think is a dozen ships. Unfortunately, there's quite a few more, but he's tracking a dozen ships as they close on a collision course with the Citadel. None near you guys on the bridge, but all on a collision course. Probably less than a minute till they collide. I don't know if Spox wants to say anything, but
Team, here's the deal. There's a lot of bad guys inbound. I suggest that we get to the shuttles to get off of this citadel and roll out towards Earth or another safe place. And if you need me to pick you up and carry you there so we get there factor, because I've got these long ass fucking legs, that's totally fine.
So I want you all to get the sense that you are facing a foe that might be beyond you guys. However, that does not mean you have to run. And in fact, I leave the choice entirely up to you guys. But at that very moment, right before the portal closes, several more Yakuza-looking folks, black suit, that sort of thing, plummet out of the portal as it closes behind them. But this time, they are wielding typical fare swords. Like one's got like a chain with like a thing on the end of it. He's spinning it. And Shinzo and his son, I was trying to think of a play of like Leonardo DiCaprio, but it's just not coming to me. So we're just going to call him DiCaprio. Shinzo and his son DiCaprio.
Pizza place.
Exactly.
Call him Chucker.
Does he has chucks?
I assume.
Okay. It's canon now. So Shinzo and his son Chucker square up like dancers in sync. They start stepping away from each other. Chucker is spinning his nunchucks, kind of taking a ready pose. Shinzo grips his katana in both hands as some of these other foes kind of circle around the all void black villain in the middle. Thomas Ilford tightens his ninja gi around his waist, and he kind of takes a sort of a Jeet Kune Do pose or something like that. And Jarvis, face blank as always, seems to tell Jarlaxanon and Jimmy. He says, the void consumes your powers. He is immune to energy. And that's all you hear from him. Specifically, out of game, he has shut off your super abilities. Any minor or major abilities will not be can't be used unless you're out of range of him.
Like shut down like my circuits or whatever.
You are unaffected.
Oh, okay, great.
Spox, I would definitely take your help up, and I like to kind of start rolling side to side.
I pick him up and I plop his fat ass on my shoulder.
Perfect.
I think we should run. It does not appear I am able to use my powers. Let us leave. And I'm going to start floating away.
Okay. Thor, what do you want to do?
What about all of our, the heroes, the people that we serve with?
Yeah.
What are
you've got Tom, Jarvis, Shinzo, and Chucker. They're squaring off. There are 4 of them, and there are 4 villains, 3 goons, and the Void. Remember that Jarvis whispered into your mind that he could use your assistance.
Yeah.
Your powers do not feel affected by the Void.
Like maybe because it's from my item as opposed to like some sort of mental ability or whatever.
Wherever the power of Thor comes from, it is not affected by this ability.
Okay. I look to my companions and I say, I have to stay and fight.
What do you guys think about that?
Gone.
Okay.
I mean, if they're gonna crash, because they're gonna crash into our fucking thing, right?
Yeah.
And it's going to do damage.
Yeah.
And inevitably, like, I would think that it doesn't matter if I get sucked out into space. Other people, it might matter.
Can you guys go do something about all those things coming while we handle these guys in here?
Yeah. Do I know it? Like, yeah. Is there like, hey, fucking Millennium Falcon? Can I go luke it up and like, is there like a gun turret thing or whatever where I can start shooting at some bitches? Or
as the captain of the Citadel, one of your abilities is the ability to pilot any vehicle that is outfitted with the computer chip of the Council of Heroes. And there are many. There are spaceships. There are like baggage scooters, like whatever you need.
What
as long as it's within 2 miles of you, you can control it as remotely as a computer.
If you guys go take care of all those ships coming at us, maybe you'll be out of range and can use your powers.
so like I could technically send like a bunch of like little battle cruiser things or whatever the fuck out there to like, and I could.
I'll say you can control one at a time.
Okay. But are there also like stations where I can start shooting at shit? Or should
your radar is sensing that they are already being shot at
Okay.
by the rest of the crew on board the Citadel. In fact, you're tracking 12 spaceships. One blips out and is replaced with another one. So you know that they are being attacked by your you can sense that with your combat radar and computer.
All right, I relate that. All this information I related it to everybody that's around me, so they can like make the most informed decision possible. And I say to myself, I go, as a robot, unless I get blown up, it doesn't matter if I get sucked into space.
Yeah.
You guys might be a different problem, so maybe we should get the fuck out of here. Or if you want to fight, maybe I can direct you towards like some ships where you could get out there and X-wing versus TIE fighter this bitch.
We should
I will
stop
say-
by the courtyard and get some chicken wings first.
I will say the one that has
Do a
to
hover
worry,
chair too, fucking Wally. Jesus.
the one that's worried probably most about being sucked into the cold vacuum of space
Chicken
is
wing smoothie.
it's definitely Jimmy among the four of you. Not that he can't take care of himself, but he doesn't quite have the same resistance to not breathing as you guys do.
That's true.
So you guys are welcome to take the fight elsewhere. Thor can stay, or however you guys want to do it.
Protect the Citadel.
Just then, I will say, unless you guys want to make up your minds, suddenly some of the goons start moving. You see Shinzo, his katana gleaming through the light of the Citadel. It looks just like a silver arc. He deflects one of their swords and comes down, cutting a red line across this man. His tie, once long, tucked into his suit, drops, cut in half. Suddenly, Chucker is moving. These guys are fighting. Thomas Ilford, you see his fists sort of not glow necessarily. There's no real glow, but you can sense some sort of power in them. And he punches one dude, and you see almost like his spirit vacate his body, and his chest is collapsed where
That's
it is.
creepy.
And the body hits the ground while almost a lingering, almost like presence is in the room.
That's
You guys
spooky.
want to run? You guys want to start fighting? The void sits motionless. You guys can watch this unfold. You can engage in fight. You can escape. Thor can stay. You guys can run. Y'all can stay, or y'all can run.
Well, I mean, none of my powers work, so I feel pretty helpless. So I'm gonna
You have
keep.
your laser rifle would work on anybody but the void,
Mm.
but that's fine. It's your call.
All right, I'm gonna stay and I'm gonna help out. I'm gonna try and take out some of these guys.
Okay,
I'm gonna shoot at one of the.
let's quickly
Yakuza
roll
looking
initiative.
Okay.
Go ahead and dump them on me.
18.
18. Okay, Bentley,
19.
Milo.
12.
Okay.
Also 12.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, I got you. Okay. So, as you see, Tom Ilford, boom, basically like chi strikes this dude, vacating his spirit from his body. His body falls safely, harm-free to the ground, but his spirit is vacated, or his astral form is vacated. You see Shinzo, like I said, he cut this dude's tie off, and Chucker just like turns around, glances a katana off of his shell, and turns around, helicoptering, whipping this dude in the face with his chuck, sending him spiraling out of control. But the void, suddenly, his hands are the only thing not covered in this like manta, or what did you call it again? Vanta black, right? That the color?
Yeah.
Vanta black. It's the only thing not Vanta black, and his skin is just pale and white, and his hands come out and his feet levitate off the ground, and his all black suit sort of ripples in a non-existent wind. And Jarvis, you guys look at him, and he has one finger placed on his head. His eyes are closed in intense concentration. You don't know what's happening, but Spox, you see all this unfolding before you. It's your turn. What do you do? There are two goons and the void.
And the goons are human?
As far as you know. Your combat computer says yes.
And the void is what exactly?
The void.
Your sensors
just
cannot
looks
get a
like
read
a-
on him.
But it's like a humanoid figure.
He looks like a human wearing an awesome suit,
Right.
and he has an all black mask on. Like, did you guys watch the HBO Watchmen? Like, you know how the
Yep.
Looking Glass has
I was just gonna
like
say
that
like
reflective
Watchmen
thing?
shit.
Right.
Yeah.
So the Looking Glass had like that reflective weird mask. It's like that, except instead of reflecting, it just seems to suck in everything around it.
Hmm. Yeah, prom night. Gosh. Yeah, I don't know what to do because I'm so fucking big and everything is just gonna like destroy everything. Like I feel weird attacking these fucks because I will destroy everything else in the room as well.
If
What?
you'd like, you can take control of a fighter ship that is scrambled from the Citadel outside, and you can begin attacking these ships that are on a collision course with the Citadel.
That sounds good. So I'm going to post up in the corner of the room, my back to the wall,
Sure.
my back to the wall, so I'm safe. I can see
Yeah,
everything
you
around
and
us.
you will remain aware of what's happening in the room. You will remain aware. It's not as though you're completely defenseless, but using your combat computer, you send the scramble signal into one of the space fighters outside. You assume control of it. And just as though you were looking out of your own eyes, now you are looking out of the sensors of this fighter ship. Vroom, vroom. This thing is an automated drone anyways, but it stood no chance without a person in the seat. And now you have the joystick. You are sensing
I've got the
dozens.
joystick.
Yeah, you do. You were sensing dozens of enemy ships on your combat radar as Spocks, but now with the visual sensor, seeing hundreds.
I go last starfighter on all those fucks.
There is one ship coming directly at you. You need to quickly roll basically a dex. So roll me a PP roll. Except give me just roll a d20.
Yeah.
And then let me look at your stats. I got you here. Okay, you get no mod. So tell me what your d20 is.
So is the 16? What is the 16 on the PP?
That is just your base stat. So that's your dex, basically. You have a
Is that what I
16
had in
dexterity.
my roll?
You don't add anything. Just tell me what it is.
My roll is a 15.
Okay, your roll is at 15. So unfortunately, you see this thing. It shoots some laser beams right out of its cannons. These things clip you, but only barely. You manage to stay on course. You see this thing coming at you. You have a chance to return fire. Would you like to?
Stay on target.
Stay on target. You can call the shot on this thing. You can target its engines, its wings, or its cockpit, or its cannons.
I'm gonna shoot at its fucking engines.
Okay, go ahead and roll me. And you can go ahead and add your basic, your strike bonus,
Okay.
which is huge. So you're good.
Ooh. 27.
Okay, you just slam. Which gun, by the way, did you use? You want to tell me that real quick? Did you launch a missile? Did you use your particle beam cannon or your heavy
Is
machine
it
gun?
me? I thought it was in the ship.
Oh, god damn, you're right. I'm so sorry. So this thing has standard particle beam cannon mounted on it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll
which
just
is-
use that.
Okay, so go ahead, just like your stats, roll me 2d4.
2d4 plus 10.
Well, just roll 2d4 and then times 10.
Oh, times 10.
Yeah.
Or 60.
Okay. You do 60 damage to this thing's engines. They're sputtering
Nice.
sparks and all this sort of thing. The velocity of this thing is greatly diminished. Now it's still on track to collide. It's coming at you. You guys still are a ways away, but its ability to alter course, its ability to evade, greatly diminished. We are moving now quickly to Jarlaxanon. You see the void. He is floating. Jarvis is kind of like doing Piccolo from Dragon Ball Z on this dude. He's got his eyes closed, intense conversation. Shinzo and his son Chucker are fighting the goons, and Thomas has just spirit punched some dude.
I'm going to take aim at one of the goons still standing, and I'm
Mhm.
going to shoot him with my rifle.
Roll me an attack.
I'm gonna take aim.
Okay, add +3 to it.
22.
Oh, dude, clean hit. Roll your damage.
Ooh.
Ooh.
14 damage.
14 damage is still pretty good.
I rolled some pretty terrible numbers.
So you see your like I said, this red hot energy laser just blasts out of your rifle, and it hits this dude. And while you avoided his armor, you got a really clean hit. In fact, he's gonna have to make a save, and I think I've got it right here because he just took quite a bit of damage. Sorry, hang on real quick. What did I do with that? So he's gonna make a save. And in fact, I'm going to go ahead and say that your laser cannon blasted his arm clean off.
Yes.
So it's not his sword hand, it's his other hand, and the laser almost seems to cauterize the wound as it goes. But you have successfully disarmed this guy. So moving quickly on now, it is the Void's turn. And you see him levitating slightly. His pale white hands, the only thing that you can see. And suddenly, you know what? I'll roll a d4 to see who this hits. Actually, I will roll a d8 since there's a bunch of you. That seems more fair, doesn't it?
Sure.
Okay, so what you guys see is actually not Jarvis, but Thomas Ilford. Basically, you see him delving or like kind of like scrambling at his own head. And suddenly his eyes open and his eyes are like turned up into his head. You only see the whites. And he turns and he faces the rest of you guys. And suddenly you see his fighting ferocity and it is turned on you guys. In fact, Jarlaxanon,
Yeah.
you seem to be, for whatever reason, the fixation of Tom's rage. And he comes after you and he goes to give you a very, very powerful kick. If you'd like to absorb it, you can either roll with punch or you can try to dodge or parry, I guess.
I will try to
Actually, I don't think you have to. You're welcome to, but yeah, go ahead and stop. He punches you and he seems to just like, or he goes to kick you rather, and he seems to just catch like the chunkiest, thickest part of your mineral carapace. And you feel his foot, but it almost seems like he probably hurt himself more than he hurt you.
yeah,
No
you
damage
did.
is done to you. Moving quickly on to Jimmy. You see this all happen. It seems as though Tom Ilford is being controlled by some unseen force. He has just done a mighty kick onto Jarlaxanon, although no damage is done. What would you like to do?
Milo.
Me?
Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
I called
Jared-
you.
Jared,
I just
move
said
on.
Jimmy. Yeah.
So I'll go ahead and climb down from Sprox and begin heading towards the door, holding my chicken bucket. I'll say, I'm just gonna go get some more chicken. I'll meet you guys in the food court.
Perfect.
Sure
So-
thing, big one. We got this.
And I
So
just
do you,
begin waddling down the hall?
do you waddle? You don't even anti-gravity fly down there?
Well, if I feel it in my mind that I can do that,
Oh,
sure.
actually, you're right. I'm sorry. Your powers are not available to you.
So I have to
What am I
waddle.
What am I talking about? Yeah, you must be. I wonder. Jimmy must be thinking that he just hasn't eaten enough chicken or something.
Yeah,
He's just
that makes
gonna gorge himself.
sense. I just need more chicken.
Okay. So you were spending your turn escaping. Let me real quick look at your stats. You're not the quickest, but you do easily manage to get kind of to the blast doors that would let you out of the bridge, and they open, sensing your presence there, and you see into the hallway. The hallway is utter chaos. There are sparks shooting out of junction boxes and fires and people scrambling with fire extinguishers to put these things out. It seems as though the initial explosion did far more damage than you guys thought. But being in the combat, the CIC or the bridge, the systems seem to really kind of mitigate the damage there, right? The ship has kind of crumple zones or something like that, seem to protect the bridge a little bit more. So you're just kind of open this up to utter chaos, and you are seeing people in the halls duking it out with men in pitch black suits. And I'm going to go ahead and say that's your turn, if that's cool with you, unless you wanted to do anything else. You do not sense your powers return to you quite yet.
Okay.
Now it's going to Thor.
Yes.
Your hammer, you're still kind of standing over this crumpled figure below you.
So I have a question about my electric ray. How
Yeah.
many melee turns does that eat up?
I believe
Because I think it's one of my major.
Yeah, it is. However, the ability comes from your hammer. So I think it just takes one, but if you don't mind me looking real quick.
Not at all. So I'm getting the sense that he's controlling one of our own folks through the brain. Is that
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Yeah, he needs to go.
Ooh.
Yeah. So it just takes up
Hey.
one of your attacks per melee, and you have 4. So
Yeah, I'm going straight for the void, and I want to shoot a lightning bolt straight into those 2 white eyeballs.
do you want to do a lightning bolt or a lightning ray?
Ray.
Okay.
Well, wait.
Go.
Let me look.
It's your most powerful attack for sure.
Yeah. I'll do bolt.
Bolt. Okay. Go ahead and roll me an attack.
Wait, let's see here. 46. No, I think I'm gonna do ray.
Okay. Just roll your ray.
Okay.
Roll me
I
an
will.
attack plus 2 to strike.
Okay. Non-natural 20.
Ooh.
Oh my goodness. So,
Heck yeah.
so you want to describe how this ray, how you cast it? Does it come out of your hammer? Does it come out of your butt? Does it?
Let's see here.
You like point the hammer at it, just like it just shoots
Yeah.
outward.
Yeah, so I grip the hammer tight and it kind of relaxes down to my side, and you see me start to levitate with arcing coming out of me towards the ground.
Yeah.
And then I just slam the hammer forward as if I'm striking something.
Yeah.
But basically I'm just aiming it at him, and a bolt arcs out from the hammer directly into his face.
Perfect. Yeah. And I'm not going to bother having you roll damage, because what you see is the energy absorbed into the void, and it seems to not even affect him.
Dang it. I was afraid of that. And so is that end my attack
Yes.
this time around?
It does.
Dang.
Sorry, bro.
That's okay.
Now, We go back to Enzo, who attacks one of the goons. Oh, dude. Basically, so he's got his katana out, and you see this goon kind of roll up on him, and the goon kind of rolls up on him kind of with his offhand, and he just reaches out and he does like a Vulcan death pinch on this dude, and he just drops down to the ground.
Nice.
Chucker is gonna go, and Chucker, so that dude, remember I said he's hit him in the face. This dude whirlwinds around and he comes back around. Chucker goes to attack him, and the dude just knocks his chucks out of the way with his katana, completely deflecting the attack. And Jarvis Jarvis successfully, like I said, he was sort of doing the Piccolo Dragon Ball Z thing onto the void. Suddenly, Jarlaxanon and Jimmy can feel that sort of tickle in their minds that was where their powers were. It's there again.
Yes.
And
Nice.
and that is Jarvis's turn. We return to the top of the order. Goes to Spox. That's you.
Hey,
buddy.
am I still controlling that fucking ship?
You absolutely are.
Okay.
You're
so
completely
can I
aware
shoot
of what's happening on the bridge, but you are also controlling the spaceship that you just shot, damaging the engines.
Right. So, and that ship's still flying at me, or still
Yep.
flying towards.
Yep.
So I'm just going to shoot at that again because I, take out a ship, even though it's bored myself. Take out a ship, even though even though it's just one. I mean, it's one less that's going to attack us.
Yeah. So real quick, first I need you
No.
to roll a d20.
Okay.
No.
And then do what with it? Add anything or no? Straight
Yeah,
roll?
go ahead and add 2.
19.
Easy. You see some other ships come barreling down on you, blasting you with their turrets. You easily avoid it. Now you're attacking the ship that's in front of you. Flames and sparks shooting out of its engines. It seems to be pretty crippled. What are you going to do?
Shoot it.
Okay, blast it. Roll me a d20. Plus 15.
Yeah. If it's fuck, I hate math. 29.
Easy hit.
Nice.
You want to call it? What are you hitting? Engines,
well, I hit
wings,
the engines last time. I think I'm just gonna go like
cockpit?
what does the ship look like?
So basically think of it's like an X-Wing or a TIE fighter type spaceship.
Okay, I'm gonna hit it right. Like if it's smoking, I'm gonna try to hit it center mass where I think like the engine shit is, so it'll just blow the whole fucking thing up.
Okay, do it. Roll damage. 2d4?
2d4 times 10,
Correct.
so that's 50.
Yeah. So if you were aiming for the engines again, you obliterated the engines. All of a sudden, the explosion of these engines sends this thing veering off course. And while it hasn't completely destroyed the ship, you've taken it out of commission. And
Nice.
you know what? Let's even roll this. I'm going to roll a percentile. Dude. And I just rolled a fucking 1, which is a crit on a percentile.
Oh, we got that bang bang into your mouth.
So I'm going to even say that this thing spirals out of control and it crashes into another enemy ship, sending that off control. But again, your combat radar detects only 12 objects at once. 2 objects explode. 2 objects take its place on its radar. The battle is far from over outside. We're going to quickly go to Jarlaxanon. Dash, you just basically blew a dude's arm off with your laser cannon.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to do? You
Like-
feel your powers have returned to you,
Uh-huh.
and you can definitely detect the sort of pent up static electricity in the air radiating off of Thor.
Well, I only have because from the last time I went, I used 2 of my attacks to aim and then fire.
Yeah.
So
So
I
you
have
have 2 more.
I only have 2 more left.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do the same thing. Try to hit one of those goons, finish them off.
Okay. You want to take another aimed thing or? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do it. Go ahead and roll a d20 plus 3.
Okay. Never mind.
What'd you roll?
7.
So what does happen is you hit his armor,
Oh,
and so you can still roll damage, but it might be done to his body armor instead.
yeah. I'll roll damage. Why not?
Yeah, do it,
Okay, I will.
please.
Guys, just let him roll.
Yeah, just let me roll.
66, dog.
Yeah, I know what it is. Thank you. Uh, 15.
Dude, that's so great.
Is that your
So,
first, Doug?
Yeah.
so you blast this dude, you hit him center mass, and like where his suit was and his tie was and everything, all of a sudden it's a smoldering crater, and you have burned through the heart of his body armor. Now he still has a lot of body armor left in other places, but that is completely incinerated, like center mass, like right in his chest. It is now Jimmy's turn. Jimmy, you have seen the ensuing chaos in the halls outside of the bridge. You feel your powers return to you, even maybe temporarily. What would you like to do?
I look into my chicken bucket and I see the last wing I had a bunch of blue cheese dressing on it. So I pick up a big old scoop of that, clean the wing, and then I aim my wing at the darkness thing and
The
cast
void.
the void, yeah, and cast my energy expulsion light at it.
Okay, take me there. So what does your ability say exactly?
So ability to draw light and energy radiation, emit highly concentrated bolt of light, not unlike a laser beam. The light bolt can only be fired in
Okay.
pulses from the fingers, hands.
So roll a d20. Sorry, I see it now. +3 to strike. So add a +3 to it.
21.
Oh, 21. Dude. Yeah, you hit the void. He is concentrating on Thomas Ilford, and it's almost as though when your powers come back, you sense the opening. Do you shoot it out of your hand or do you shoot it out of the wing?
It goes through the chicken wing for sure.
Through the chicken wing. Excellent. So you clean this wing that had blue cheese dressing on it. You look right at the void, and you blast some light radiation at this dude, and you nail him, man. And it's almost as though, like, if this guy's like blackness is all consuming, your radiation lights him up for a second, and you see his suit just turn as white and pale as his hands for the brief moment that your radiation is nailing him. Go ahead and roll damage. 2d6. It's not much, but it's something.
8.
8. Perfect, man. Nice hit. And that is a clean shot. You avoided his armor and everything.
So it also says here that they're momentarily blinded. So they have -8 to all combat rolls.
Okay, fuck yeah, they do.
Wow.
Okay,
Wow.
nicely
wow.
done.
That's really cool.
Well done.
Sweet ability.
Okay, so you guys see Jimmy, the wings eater, stepping up, and he's bucket in one hand, a wing in another. And just then, you know that you cannot back down from this fight. We move quickly to Thor, who has just launched the most powerful lightning attack he's ever summoned right at the void, only to see it vanish slightly.
And you hear him kind of yell out of frustration, that should have worked. And then he immediately leaps towards the void and hammer in hand, and he's trying to bring it down on his head.
Do it. Roll
Bring
me
it down on
an
his nose.
attack.
And do I add
Plus 5.
5? Okay, 18.
Oh, yeah, easy hit. I'm gonna say that Jimmy's attack snapped him from his concentration. He's aware of what's happening. He's gonna roll to dodge,
Okay.
but he has a -8, and he fails. He is struck by your hammer blow.
That's
Roll
right.
damage,
That's right. Okay.
and you
okay.
have a significant bonus to damage.
Yeah, so go ahead and get ready to add these numbers.
I will.
6, 7, so 13, and 10, 23 plus something, plus 19.
19, which puts you at 42 damage total. What the hell did I just do with my pen? Here it is. 42 damage total to the void. Holy crap. Your hammer, an ordinary blacksmith's hammer, cracks this dude right across the face. And for a moment, I mean, it's as though you feel his power radiating through your hammer, radiating through your arm, and it seems to want to suck the pure sort of electrical lightning spirit out of your body. And you can feel that happening, but then your hammer clears his face and you feel whole again, and you do significant damage to him, but
Nice.
he is undeterred. It doesn't even, I mean, he looks stunned, he looks damaged, but he does not look like he's done. We move on to, the void.
Here we go.
Real quick, so
There's a
sorry.
fucking 18-foot tall robot in his fucking mouth hole.
That would have been helpful. But, what are you gonna do?
Bot swallowing ability. I wish I'd prepared that for today.
So suddenly, let me think. Who has eyes? I'm going to say that Jarlaxanon is immune. Spox is immune. But I'm going to go ahead and need some saving throws from Jimmy and Thor. And let me see if I can pull it up. Whenever you guys are ready, just roll me d20s.
7.
Okay.
Uh-oh. That would be a 1.
Okay. So Thor, after delivering the mightiest of blows to this man's face, is struck utterly blind. Not only that, what Jarlaxanon and what Spox realize is that he has sucked the light out of the entire room, creating a magical darkness. Jimmy, as well, you were struck utterly blind after just irradiating this dude, turning him pure white for a moment. Your vision is just vacated your body. But Jarlaxanon and Spox have no issue. You hear Chucker shout to himself. You hear Shinzo tell his young Padawan to calm himself and center himself and find, and be able to focus on fighting. He should have no issue. And Thomas Ilford, recently released from the grip of the void, has awoken to utter blackness himself, and he is unable to see for the time being. So we're going to quickly move to Shinzo, who doesn't seem to have any problem with this darkness, and that one dude that, or he moved on from the dude that he kind of like Vulcan death pinch, and to the guy that is duking it out with Chucker, and he cuts this dude's head clean off of his body. One moment his sword's here, then it's over here. The head tumbles off his body like an anime. Blood fountains out of his neck.
Fall Out Boy song. Head tumbles off his body like an anime.
You're welcome for writing a Fall Out Boy song.
Wow.
Chucker is easily able to move on, and he sees. Well, rather, actually, he doesn't see. So I'm gonna roll an attack for him because he wants to attack where he thought the void was. And he takes a running midair, tries to do like a missile drop kick sort of thing, and he completely just misses, and he lands on his butt kind of opposite of the void where he was. We go to Thomas Ilford, who is completely blind. You hear him shout in his New Yorker accent, and he says, hey, you shut the lights off, huh? And you can, those of you who can see through the magical blackness can make out the two shapes of Ilford's fists cutting through the blackness. However, that's all you see of him, is these two fists moving through the darkness. We're back up to the top. It is Spock's turn.
All right. Do I see a mothership, if you were, if you will? That
No mothership seen.
Okay. Then I turn on my own ship and start shooting it because I'm bored.
You attack the Citadel?
No, I don't attack the Citadel. God damn. It's just
taken out 2 ships so far. The odds seem insurmountable. However, you are witnessing your legions of your own spacecraft doing a significant amount of repelling this attack. It doesn't seem all hope is lost yet. It's just definitely you guys are outnumbered.
no, I get it. It's Independence Day, but like as a player, I'm just like, this is fucking slow as fuck, and I just want it to be over so I can do something else.
Okay.
I just as okay, so I guess I'm gonna kind of hover. If I can just like hover in my ship or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, sure.
And I'm hovering, in front of whatever, and I'm looking for the next, next and best ship coming into my zone.
Yeah.
And how dare they? And if they're coming into my zone, going after them, gonna
Sure.
zip up off after them, and then give them the old 1-2, the right there, Fred.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll an
Laser,
attack.
laser.
Roll an attack. Plus 15.
Yeah, 17 plus 15.
20 or 30 something, 32. Yeah, easy hit. Roll damage on your particle cannon. 2d4
Plus times 10.
times 10.
Heimrat. Holy shit, 2 4s.
Oh, nice. 80 damage.
Yeah.
80 damage,
Sick.
dude. Yeah, you explode this thing. Just it turns into shrapnel. And all of a sudden, where you were flying through empty space, you're now flying through a small debris field. You feel the shrapnel sort of hit you and do all this sort of stuff.
Did the body of the pilot bounce off of my cockpit?
Yeah, why not? I don't care.
Yes.
In fact, it doesn't even bounce. It freaking hits and it's like stuck on there. You have to like turn on your wipers to like get his body off.
Go float in space, dead body. How dare you?
So here's what I'm going to do after that. Unfortunately, one kamikaze got past you and it
No!
strikes the Citadel. It explodes. Everybody on board, including Spock's, even though he's controlling another thing, they need to quickly roll me a d20.
Me?
Even you.
17.
19.
19. Caleb?
1.
Natural one. Yeah.
That's
Okay.
2 in a row.
Okay.
Fuck,
Milo.
man.
I think I somehow accidentally click the pen or whatever, and I
Yeah.
turn back into the accountant.
Yeah. Milo. 4.
Yeah. What's going on?
Jarlaxanon and Spox. You feel this as the ship slams into the Citadel. Its like reactor core detonates, and again, it splatters the ship. It shifts it through space at such a degree, but
Wow.
you are able to, I guess, like activate metal form or something like that and keep your footing, no problem. Spock's using your combat computer. You were prepared for it and you were able to sort of hold yourself. But Thor, I mean, it was like he wasn't ready for it. And as soon as you lose your footing, Thor vacates the body. It's back to Matthias Spenning, the accountant, and he's tumbling across the ground, this frail, fragile little boy or whatever, tumbling across. But I will say that as you tumble across the ground, Thor comes back up or whatever, but he is prone. Jimmy, as well as you just, I guess, we're not ready for it or whatever it might be. You lose your footing, and actually, both of you, real quick. Thor is going to take 7 damage, and you can take it to your SDC.
No.
And Jimmy is going to take 2 damage to his SDC. And Milo, I don't know if did you figure out what your SDC was? Because if not, go ahead and make.
I had 56 written down here.
Okay, I had more than 56 just on my notes of yours automatically.
Okay.
So go ahead and make it 90.
Okay.
But you take 2 SDC damage.
Can I use protective kinetic energy field and reduce that by health if it's a fall?
Oh.
Yeah, absolutely you may. Absolutely you may. Yeah, thank you. So easily, you just with your ability of sensing kinetic energy and all this sort of stuff, you're able to like not even lose your footing necessarily. You do kind of fall, but you quickly are back on your feet. You only take 1 damage. Very impressive. And what you have realized now, Spox, is that the structural integrity of the Citadel is compromised.
No.
And the engines have been destroyed.
No.
And
Oh damn, ship's gonna go down.
the part of the ship that you guys are on is quickly gaining velocity over the half of the ship that is farther away from you, and you all can sense sort of the hull starting to breach, and you guys are just beginning to move towards the Earth. We are going to continue quickly down the initiative order, going to Jarlaxanon. You're okay. You've kept your footing. I'm going to go ahead and say the goons are taken care of, and you have the void in front of you, but you also sense that that the ship is not well.
Can I attempt? Could I possibly lay hands on like a ship console and try and discharge energy to like help some failing systems?
Literally lay on hand. Like
lay on hands.
Yeah.
If not, I got something else I can do.
I'm pretty sure that heals the ship for 1d8, doesn't it?
Yes.
I will say, yeah. So you can do that, and you discharge some juice into it. You give auxiliary thrusters just enough energy, and the back half of the ship has no energy. It cleanly breaks off. You manage to keep the half of the Citadel that you were on, not necessarily in a stable orbit, but you bought yourself a little bit of time. I'm totally fine with that, because you guys are going to need all the help that you can in order to survive as this ship starts crumbling apart.
Sick.
We're going to move on to Jimmy. Jimmy is blinded. However,
Is that why his camera is off?
must be.
I think my internet just sucks.
Oh.
That's okay. We
Yeah.
still hear you though, so.
I have no idea what to do, honestly.
So you could potentially use your gravity powers in such a way to try to impact where you thought the void was, because I'm pretty sure your gravity powers are offer pretty wide. Could be wrong about that, but I think they're pretty wide. Can like kind of impact him even though you don't quite know where he is. You could also try to use, just like Jared Laxanon did, you could try to sort of influence the ship somehow.
Okay, so I'm blind, right?
Yeah, essentially.
I'm in a world of darkness. I can't see anything.
Correct.
Okay, I'm going to use my energy expulsion light to make myself glow up
Perfect.
to 100 watts. It's dark. I'm gonna make it light. Is my thinking.
You are glowing. You can see now. It does not help Thor, but you can clearly see what's happening now, and you still have an action or an attack.
So it's a 20 by 20 foot room. I can light
Totino's
up.
Pizza over there, Dash?
Yeah, you can see 20 feet all around you.
Can I see the void?
I will say that you can see clearly sort of his outline. He's not clearly defined in the blackness because the suit is even blacker than that. But yeah, you can kind of make out where he is based on his pale hands.
So I'm going to use my kinetic energy and throw my bucket of chicken at him.
There you go.
Okay.
So I kind of got to charge it up for a second.
Sure.
Then I toss it at him, and it increases the damage that it does if it hits.
Okay. I'll say a bucket thrown by anybody probably doesn't do too much damage, but you charge this bad boy up, you throw it. These bones suddenly turn into kind of sharp projectiles.
Ooh.
Okay, like a dart or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So dart does 1d4. I'm going to say you charge this bad boy up even, and it probably does 2d4 damage.
All right, I love it.
So roll me a d20 to hit.
12?
Oof. So 12 hits his body armor, unfortunately, but still roll me damage.
That will be 6.
So you do 6 damage to the Void's armor. You can see now that there are like little bits of like chicken bones, like with meat on the ends, like sticking out of it, like what you assume is body armor underneath his suit.
All right.
Thor, you're blinded, but now you can kind of see a little bit just from the glowing of Jimmy. However, it's not enough to necessarily see. In fact, you're a little bit more blinded by the glowing than anything else. You can make out general directions of things.
Do I get the sense that changing my form would change my circumstances?
Yes and no.
I'm gonna go for it anyway.
Okay.
So he's never experienced this much trouble before. Things are usually come to him easily,
Oh,
both
absolutely.
socially and in terms of battle.
Yeah.
He's not really met much competition that has been able to stand up to him. So he's going all out, and he's going to turn into a lightning bolt, essentially.
Yeah.
So he's still got the kind of humanoid shape, like two upper limbs and two what appears to be legs, but it's all just pure lightning energy, and his hammer turns into that same form. And
Oh yeah.
if you could see him in his Thor form, he would be swinging his hammer wildly at this guy, but it just looks like a whip of electricity lashing out at the Void. And so I don't know how you want to do that. if it becomes some sort of an electrical attack or if it is some sort of melee or something.
It's going to be melee through and through. Go ahead and roll.
Okay. Is it like a Mjolnir?
Yeah, +5 to strike.
Okay. Oh, this is terrible. Okay. 9.
9. So you hit his armor.
Wait. Actually, wait. No, yep, 9.
You hit his armor. So roll me damage.
Yes, I am going to do that. Five. 9 total. And 15 plus 19. So 34.
Yes, 34 damage to his armor, which you see again. It's almost as though he's sort of absorbing some of this energy that comes, but after some of the damage he's taken and after being struck a few times, you can sort of see that it's not quite as effective as it once was. And your hammer, your sort of whip of electricity is able to come around and cleave his armor even more. And though you sense that it doesn't strike him, you sense that it's done significant, irreparable damage to his body armor.
Nice. Soften him up.
Absolutely. We're going to quickly go to Thomas Ilford, who cannot see, but he's going to attack anyways using his spirit fist. Oh, shit. He just absolutely hit the void. You all see in the darkness these glowing fist shapes. He moves up. And again, another spirit kick. Oh, so he like does like a roundhouse kick or something and just manages to actually hit the void and not his armor or anything like that. And while you see his fists, they circle around in this flourish, and you see this glowing apparition of a leg come up, hit the void. It doesn't seem to deter him, but it's done some damage. And now it's Shinzo's turn. Dude, and Shinzo just critted. And unfortunately, Shinzo, his class on a crit, this is kind of fucked up. Shinzo on a crit does instant death.
What?
because he is an ancient master, which deals death blows on crits.
Oh, geez.
So you see Shinzo out of nowhere, and again, he is blinded, but he has enough battle sense that he's able to, and as he kind of sees this like glowing apparition of Tom Ilford's leg, maybe he's even guided by Jarvis's mental powers or something like that. He comes out with his sword and it just radiates energy, and he jams it right into the void's heart or something like that. And these distant stars that you were seeing in his suit and in his mask, they start glowing. And suddenly, where there was only blackness, there's now only white. And he doesn't so much as die before your eyes as he just vanishes before your eyes.
Dang.
The blackness is gone. Everybody can regain sight, but you see now that the ship is in more damage than you even thought was possible. And we're nearing the end of the episode, but we're going to keep going just to round this out. The ship has broken in half. You guys felt that when you made your saves. Part of your ship is now in irreparable decaying orbit, headed towards Earth. Dash bought you guys some time with his ability, but now it's up to you guys. Whatever you want to do. From the bridge, you have control of the ship, but you are losing power to different systems. What do you guys want to do?
Can I use my I have a computer use skill.
Yep.
Can I use that to like try and save some systems and salvage something?
You can use your computer use skill, and you can figure out right now which systems are operable and which are not operable.
That's what I can do with that skill.
For now, yeah. So go
Okay.
ahead and roll a percentile roll, and you
Okay.
need to roll less than a 65.
Yeah.
or 65 or less, rather.
Yeah. Okay. 23.
Easily. So you see, obviously, that the thrusters are losing power. You can see that they have a little bit jolted into them from that last jolt that you gave them. You see that deflectors are down. So as you guys enter into the atmosphere, they are going to be of no use repelling the heat and the friction as you guys come down. And you also see that life support is no longer operational. Whatever you guys are breathing, if you are breathing, is quickly vacating into space and is not being replenished by the system. You also see that the gravity, you guys have an artificial gravity generator, and soon that is going to fail. It's probably at like 35-40% efficiency right now. Weapon systems on your guys' side of the ship completely toast. There's no more power going to that. Yeah, what do you want to do based off that knowledge? You want to tell anybody? I think that Spock's probably has a sense that that's happening.
Oh,
Yeah,
for
I
sure.
go, yeah, I'm going to tell the team. I believe that we are officially screwed. Everything is offline and we are going to die.
You really picked up on that Earth vernacular pretty quick there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And what size is everybody?
They're pretty normal size except for you.
They're all human size.
Yeah.
I'm on the bigger side, but
More or less
still
human
human.
sized. Yeah.
Right. 600 pounds. Okay. I'm wondering if I can just, transform, put them all inside of me, and get us the fuck out of here.
Absolutely. Yeah, you can fit 2 of them inside of you easily.
Oh, well, that's not going to work.
It might.
How what's your name? Spox?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spox, perhaps you could try to pilot this ship safely down to where it won't harm anybody on Earth. And I can add power possibly to our life support.
I am the captain of this ship. Okay, so here's
Yeah.
Spock's.
Spock's takes over. All right. Everybody get to their stations. You, power boy, you battery boy, come with me.
Yes,
And
sir.
I go to the helm of the ship. I fucking kirk it the fuck out. I push away, whatever dead bodies are there, or just, I pretend. And
Sure.
then I light up the display. I do, whatever's there. And I go,
All right, baby, we're not going down without a fight. Spock's gearbutt has never left his ship, and he won't roll one out now. God damn it!
and so he gets he grabs the joysticks.
Yeah.
I've got the joysticks of the ship.
Yeah, and you want to start piloting the ship?
Yeah, and I'm gonna try to bring it. I get that we're going into Earth. I get that our heater, our shield deflectors are down or whatever.
Yeah.
So,
But you can bring it in at an angle that's favorable.
Yeah, I want to try to bring it in, for a soft landing, Spock's gearbutt style.
Can I lend a hand by helping like read sensory equipment and such
Absolutely.
like that?
Absolutely.
Cool.
You all can help, and you are expected to help. Now, Spock's is a very talented pilot, especially piloting his own ship. So he's going to go ahead and give me a roll for piloting, which is very high. You don't have to say it.
Natural 20.
No. Roll a D100.
Oh, well, fuck.
I mean, a D20 is very
that
good.
natural 20 sticking around for something.
Roll me a percentile. You can't fail, basically. I want you to know that. That's how good he is at piloting things.
Well, okay. Do I add something?
Nope. You just have
Right.
to beat a 98. You have to be 98 or less.
Oh, yeah. Well, then I got a 23.
Easy. So you are using
my
all of your
PP.
talent, and you realize that the angle that you're coming up in is going to burn up the ship. So you're able to sort of
Dash.
right. Yeah. What?
Oh, can I use my my advanced math degree
Mhm.
to help him calculate the right angle he'll need to hit.
Roll me a D100. Why not?
Okay, it's my best skill. I wanted to look cool too.
That's right, because your guy was like a science guy.
Oh, jeez, I barely got it. I got it though.
Get
Okay.
those Katy Perry feet going again, bud.
84.
84, you did get it. So yeah. So you're calculating the proper trajectory and you tell Spox, you say, look, I know you're an excellent pilot. Whatever you say to him, I don't know. And you say, this is the angle we got to bring it in. You have to bring it in at 21
Dash,
degrees.
what do you say to me?
I am smarter, so let me calculate it.
I'm a robot too.
You are- I am an organic life form. You were made by one of us. That makes you less than.
Oh,
God damn, what a bird.
So yeah, maybe while Spock's he definitely recovered it from being a catastrophic reentry. Dash guides him into being what is going to be optimal reentry. Does anybody else want to do anything?
I turn to Jimmy. The whole idea of Jimmy's character and what he looks like is hilarious to me.
Yeah.
I'm like
Uh,
bending over and picking up pieces of chicken that like
Oh, I
are
missed one.
destroyed.
But I turn to Jimmy and I say, don't you have some sort of gravitational looking him up and down force? and
Without trying to call him his own planet.
basically
Do you have a moon or something around you?
and
Got
I'm
your
I'm
own
basically
orbit?
suggesting that he either help control the descent or maybe the fake gravity that the ship did have, if it sticks around or something like that.
Man,
But,
when Jimmy sits around the ship, he really sits around the
But I want to generate electricity to make sure that we have any boosters or life support or whatever we might need as we're making this rough landing.
I'd say that you can absolutely do it. You can make up 5 tons completely weightless if you wanted to. Now
I
that's
can or
Jimmy can. Jimmy can make up to 5 tons completely weightless if you wanted to. And while that isn't enough to like stop the ship from like doing whatever, it's going to help what's left in the energy of the thrusters, which is a finite amount.
I'll do that.
So yeah, like I don't know, maybe you make like the tip of whatever that's coming first into Earth's gravity, you make that section completely weightless. And the artificial gravity of the ship hasn't gone out yet, so you guys are still firmly planted to the floor of the ship. But that section kind of eases, and the strain that is on the thrusters relaxes a bit. You can see Dash, you were using your computer use earlier to sense kind of what was going on. You look back over at those readouts and you can see that the energy going to the thrusters is now reducing at a slower rate.
are we headed towards land or towards sea?
You guys are headed towards the ocean at the moment.
Okay.
It looks like the
My
South
piloting's not
Atlantic.
affecting this?
Huh?
Is my piloting affecting this, or are we still we're just crashing? I'm just
Right now, your piloting can affect it, but you guys are headed towards South Atlantic Ocean.
Mm.
Anybody who's familiar with Earth would know. So,
Well, I'm sure it's in my circuitry.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And plus you can look out a window and you can see it. So, so as this is going on, you guys can do a little bit more. Your energy is running out, but
Energy on cubes.
we need to try to determine, based on the next kind of assistance roles, where is this ship headed, or do you guys just try to escape the ship? Seems like you all pretty committed to controlling where the ship's going to land, and that's totally cool.
Are we in Earth's orbit?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Like
We're below it now.
sorry. are we in the atmosphere? That's the better. That's
So at this point, you've started to experience slight friction from the atmosphere, but due to your good piloting, good to the weight reduction, and all that sort of stuff, and Dash's math, you're able to decrease the amount of
Cool
damage that will be
superpower.
right. Yeah,
Thanks.
good math. You're able to
Math.
decrease the amount of drag that the ship is experiencing as it enters into the upper atmosphere. So you are increasing your odds of survival at the moment. If that was not the case, the ship would be beginning to fall apart around your guys' ears.
And this thing.
What's
in this
that?
time of- in this
Say we
time-
land this thing.
Oh yeah.
Bring it down, Sprox.
Yeah. Spock's like, I mean, I don't know. If it feels like it's going pretty good, and it seems like it is, I mean, as good as it can be for like a fucking
For crashing a
fire.
ship.
You know, fucking crashing of goddamn ship. But like, I feel as though I could,
Yeah.
Denzel Washington this bitch.
I'm sure that's one of your programming faults is that everything feels optimal to you. Especially when piloting, which is your natural born
piloting,
ability,
yeah.
essentially.
I go, I could fix this, and it feels like it's going okay.
So what I need to know as you begin entering is where once you enter that low atmosphere, you will not be able to steer clear any longer. So currently you're headed towards dead ocean. If you hit that ocean, you will likely all drown to death. You can aim for the African continent or you can aim for the South American continent. Your choice.
South America.
It's up to Spock's. He gets to choose.
Well, and I can only fit 2 of them inside of me.
Correct. However, we've made it very clear that they have superpowers.
I
Be able to save Shinzo or Tom or Jarvis, but they might have their own abilities.
All right, I'm gonna look at I'm gonna look at my buddies here, my brand new buddies.
Guys, here's the deal. I can either crash this into a continent or crash this into the ocean, or I can transform and get some of us off of this ship. I don't know what the powers are.
I'm gonna say, why don't you take these 2? And I have this ring. I can float myself down. After a certain amount of time, I can just simply leap off of the ship and then float my way to safety, hopefully in South America
All right.
or
I
Africa.
can do that as well.
I have no preference.
I could make myself weightless and float to the ground as well, but
Okay,
obviously I need to get a little closer.
okay. So
Or has a question.
yes,
Yeah, Thor.
You
Uh,
there, Thor.
You can all
Hey,
have
fucking
flying.
nerd.
I just realized you all have your own version of
Right, but mine has some limits to it. So
it does. Yeah.
I'm gonna request that the math being done guide us within a mile of land, but maybe
Mhm.
hit water.
also you can just like I can just put you inside of me.
Yeah. 2 of you can fit inside of
Are
Spock's.
we not worried about Renzo and
Shinzo?
Shinzo and
Dash and Milo
And
basically
Chucker.
made it very apparent that they're going to be good. So if that's what they
That's
say-
true.
but I mean the other people on the ship with us.
And that's your call. You can fit inside of him and one other person.
There's
so
plenty of escape pods.
Yeah.
There's
Oh,
plenty
there
of escape
is?
pods on this bitch.
you'd be aware
Oh,
of that.
I
sure.
get in an escape pod then.
Okay.
Fine.
Are we inside
hop
the
in.
atmosphere?
You guys are entering the upper atmosphere basically. So once you hit the lower atmosphere, which is coming up very quickly, you will no longer be able to alter the destination of the main part of the ship that you're on.
So it sounds like we're abandoning ship. Let's make sure that this doesn't go to a
I'm
place
going
where
to
it can harm
crash
people.
This thing, I'm going to crash this thing like a mile off the coast or a couple miles off the coast of like South America.
Cool. All right, I'm gonna
Nah,
need a
Let's
ride
go
then.
Africa.
You going Africa?
Yeah,
All right. Okay.
it's bigger.
So roll me piloting. Percentile roll. 2 10s.
Ooh. And then once, you know, like I've sort of like got it locked on where it's going to go, if someone wants to go with me,
I do.
Transform and roll out.
then we will.
Yeah.
Okay. I got a Oh shit. I got it's a 90 and a 0, so I guess just a 90.
That's a 90, and it's still a success. So,
Nice.
so you successfully, using your targeting computer, lock on exactly where your ship is going to fly towards. I mean, within like a dozen feet or something, you know exactly where the nose of this is going to land in the ocean.
Titanic.
Now that that's all locked in place, you're not worried about it because you're not going to be able to really control anything anymore. Dash and Jarlaxanon and Jimmy gave you the optimal odds that you needed to land that bad boy without the ship just breaking apart with you guys inside of it. However, if you'll remember, your half of the ship broke off from the other half of the ship. So if you open up the door where Jimmy last was, suddenly you realize that things are just being sucked out of the ship. There is a gaping just where there used to be ship to walk through. There is no more, including Jarlaxanon's wing franchise. It's gone on the other half of the ship that is now probably
Oh
destroyed in a
no!
nuclear inferno.
No.
So you all can, once you get lower, you can try to safely fly away. You all are too high to survive at this moment, especially Jarlaxanon's anti-gravity ring. You will plummet probably to your death at this height. There is no height restriction on Jimmy's anti-gravity flight, but it's a little bit slower of a thing. And if Thor wanted to like use his lightning or whatever, you all have to get a little closer to the ground before that's a thing. So if anybody wants to get inside or prepare to get inside Spock's as he transforms, that's a thing that you all can start planning. But as of now, you've got minutes until you hit the ground.
Yeah, I volunteer to get inside. Ooh, that sounds so dirty. I want to get inside Spock's.
Spock, so do you transform or?
Yeah, if you know, if we're all set up or whatever and
Yeah,
everything's good, everything's good to go, then I grab my buddy. I go,
All right, we're going to transform and roll out of this fucking place.
and then I transform.
is that your transform sound effect?
Well, that's the
Nice.
one from the cartoon.
Gotcha. So
And I transform into a fucking sweet F-22 Raptor fucking stealth space jet and just fucking get it. And it's not exactly like an F-22 Raptor, but it's it's more like a triangle. It's so sweet. And I
Yeah.
just fucking transform the fucking and we get the fuck out of there.
yeah, you just see like, and all of a sudden, where there was once a humanoid-looking robot, there is now a sweet space fighter type thing waiting there. It's resting softly on basically like 2 feet or whatever. I don't know exactly how it works. Perfectly balanced, and its cockpit opens up, waiting for Thor to climb inside if he so chooses.
Get inside my cockpit, bro.
Yeah, I turn into a lightning bolt and I get right in there as quickly as possible.
Perfect. So you're inside of Spock's. You have Jarlaxanon and Jimmy, who are kind of, the wind is everywhere. Paperwork and all this stuff is being sucked out. And
Paperwork.
yeah, all of Spenning's paperwork is just gone now.
No, my numbers.
Spock's with his combat computer can sense that you have about 2 minutes until impact, impact in the ground.
2 minutes until impact.
And
Everyone
you get
transform and roll out.
perfect. So what do you got? How do you guys want to do this? How is Dash want to do this? I think that Dash can easily survive if he times it right, but you're gonna have to either get inside the ship or you're gonna have to use that anti-gravity ring at just the right time.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait till like 30 seconds from the ground to leap.
Okay. Now, Jimmy, you know that you're probably at an appropriate altitude that you could just start anti-gravity flying out of the ship and you can breathe and you'll be fine.
I want to ask Jarlaxian.
Jarlaxanon.
Do you have any franchises in Africa?
I have a franchise everywhere, for
Oh.
my wings are everywhere.
Perfect. And then I'll just kind of like get sucked out the window or whatever and catch an air current and just start looking for a town.
I love the idea that you like diminish your own weight so that you're just like a piece of paper and that, like just getting sucked out and then you just start anti-gravity flying wherever you want to go.
And yeah, catch a wind current and look for like a town somewhere
Perfect.
that might have a wing shop.
So Jimmy's flying, Spox and Thor, you guys can probably take off if you'd like to. Jarlaxanon, you look back and you're trying to see what happened to Shinzo and those guys, but they're already gone. They didn't even wait to see if you guys needed rescuing. Who knows what happened to them? You have no idea at the moment. But
That was kind of a dick move.
absolutely a dick move. So I don't know how you want to do this, but if you want to wait till the right moment or whatever you're going to have to do, we're going to have to roll a D100 roll.
Okay.
Let's all meet in Johannesburg.
Okay.
Gotcha.
I rolled a 3.
You seriously rolled a 3?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a success. That's actually a way better success than, that's not a bad roll. That's like almost a crit success.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Whew.
So the higher the percentile rolls, the worse they are. Just so you guys know.
Oh, okay.
100 is a crit fail. A 1 is a crit success.
Interesting.
So, yeah, you easily time this thing out. You see them go. I'm going to assume that Spox and Thor take off. He's using his magnificent jet engines to just soar through the air. He circles around the wreckage as it's going. I mean, he manages to go faster than this thing is. No problem. And you wait till right the last second before activating your anti-gravity ring, and your mineral crystalline form almost just stays where it is while the ship just disappears.
Sick.
And then you can see this thing hit the ocean. You are above the ocean. Jimmy is above the ocean. But you guys can see land, the African continent, due east from you currently.
Cool.
So
Great.
if you guys want, we'll go ahead and stop here as you guys slowly come to land at the same place on the African coast. But the Citadel, or what was left of it, you see just crash into the ocean, creates a gigantic splash miles off the coast. And you just look up and you all see just raining fire down. It's as though you're in the middle of a meteor shower. The clear blue sky is not a cloud in sight, but smoke and fire and metal just raining down on top of you guys currently, and on top of the whole planet. You can see where the back half of the Citadel was, and it's up in the air, and it just looks more like a comet than anything. There's a long tail kind of coming off of it. It's not in the atmosphere, it's not crashing, but you just see it like a small moon up in the sky shining down on you guys. You defeated the Void, or at least defeated the Void, or so you think. Shinzo and Tom and Jarvis and Chucker, you have no idea what happened to them, but when Jarlaxanon looked back, they were nowhere to be seen. Presumably they escaped, but maybe they hid and died. You guys are now marooned on the coast of Africa, where you guys will have
jet. I don't fucking.
That's true. You have a jet. You can go wherever the fuck you want. But the rest of you guys will likely be marooned on Africa. Y'all can fly and do all that crazy shit, but it's going to take some time and some coordination to get to where you're going, assuming that you don't meet any friction on the way. So We'll pick
Well,
up.
I'm gonna land on like whatever coast or whatever. If I see, I'm assuming my pals will be there just for story wise.
Oh yeah, you're able to track them with your radar, so you know
Great.
exactly where they
So
are.
I'll track them with my radar, and then like I go to where they go, and then like as I'm getting ready to land, like I come in, and like I hit my brakes, kind of like, and like my nose sort of pops up, and that's when I start to transform, and it's like I pop out Caleb's character. I go like I throw him
Yeah.
up in the air, and I transform. My legs come down, and I grab him, and then I set him down on the ground.
Yeah,
Oh.
or he can do his own superhero landing. He's strong.
I mean, okay. I don't know that. I'm a fucking robot.
Fair enough. Fair enough. But this is where we're going to leave it, and we'll catch up next time. Next time, we're going to have a little bit less beating up bad guys to do, a little bit more thinking our way through some problems to do. We're going to get some more skill checks because the skill system of Heroes Unlimited is a little bit unique.
Yay.
So until next time, y'all, thanks for sticking with us. This special edition of Chaotic Amateurs, Heroes Unlimited edition. I've been your DM Rhett, and to my right, we have in standard order.
Dash as Jarlaxian. Jarlaxanon.
Bentley,
Jarlax.
that Bentley as Spock's Gearbot.
Perfect.
Caleb as accountant, Matthias Spinning, and Thor.
Milo as Jimmy.
Hey, grab your sword and keep on adventuring. Oh, hello everybody. Welcome to this week's Metagame Minute. Special Chaotic Amateurs Heroes Unlimited edition. So y'all just battled your first supervillain, and with a little bit of help from your superhero friends, we're able to overcome several goons and a very powerful supervillain who was a higher level than you guys, and had pretty powerful superpowers catered specifically for you all.
Thanks for that.
Yeah, combat slows things down a little bit more than I thought it would slow down. But what did you guys think of this guy, of where we're at with the Citadel?
His
I thought
powers.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say his powers were really frustrating for me, and the fact that I was rolling so poorly, that was also bad.
Yeah,
And I didn't like being blinded.
I can imagine. Yeah,
Yeah.
I can
I
imagine.
really liked the villain. I thought he was pretty badass. I mean, I like kind of the design. I can see it in my head, like wearing a suit, and he just looks like he's made of void. I thought that made for a really like interesting villain, and he
Yeah.
nullified my powers, which made me angry.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's so different. While it's so very similar, it's different enough. Like there was a long time in between rounds of, and maybe it's just because it's the first time we're playing it and that kind of shit, but like,
Yeah.
it was a long time. It was 10 to 12 minutes, from when I did something to the next time I got to do it.
Yeah. And I wasn't expecting it to drag
And
that,
it's all
that
good.
much, but
I'm just it's a different pacing, it's a different feel, and then also it's always frustrating to start a game because, and especially like playing with like the same guys that we play with, for the season 4, the main story of the podcast or whatever, where I'm like I've gotten into that character so much that like to start a brand new person is really weird to me, even though I know exactly what I'm just doing Optimus Prime, obviously, like, and that's what I'm going to be doing the entire time. But it is weird, and it is also, I don't know, it's exciting. And I thought, and commencements to Rhett, and for putting together the adventure, for thinking of the story and thinking of all this shit, like I had a really good time. It's just it's a more sort of bogged down system, and you kind of hear that from like older D&D systems, which is everyone loves 5e because it's real,
very streamlined,
very crisp and snappy. So I mean, I kind of get like a sense of like, I haven't played any of the older D&D systems, but like you said, it was response to 2e or whatever. Like,
yeah,
I'm like, okay, so it's a real rules heavy. There's all these different factors. There's this, and it almost kind of reminds me of like Hateful Place when we played that.
Yeah.
Like, slower, much more accurate, much more like, well, your magic isn't going to help you, like it's going to fuck you up, or it's not going to fuck you up, or you're going to fuck someone else up, that kind of shit.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
penalty.
And there's a lot of math that goes into this, like in terms of like the finer details. Like if you wanted to like pick up and throw it, like we got to figure out like where your strength is and what's the weight of the car and all that sort of stuff. And it's like, it's not conducive to very fast gameplay. Obviously we'll like streamline all of that when it comes to it, but that's the type of stuff. Like I was looking at Milo's power, and he can reduce the weight of 5 tons. He can turn that to 0 gravity, like look, very plainly written on there, and it's not like some mathematical formula we have to do, but it's easy when the ship is more than 5 tons, and we can be like, well, that 5 tons will help us navigate this a little bit better, because I have fully planned on like marooning you guys somewhere not as easily or doing any of that sort of stuff if I had to do it, but you guys worked together and were able to kind of beat some of the skill checks and rolls and stuff that I had planned. Anybody else?
Milo, what do you think, bud?
I really like the way Red DMs. I haven't really had him as a DM very much. I think he kind of has just kind of a fun way. It's natural and relaxed, and I'm really enjoying his DMing style.
Thank you.
Here.
Yeah, I was hoping to have a little bit stronger of an intro, but my notes weren't loading. I had them all digitally, and they weren't loading, so I had to kind of go off my memory, which is why it was a little bit of a bumbling start at the very start of this adventure. But
Jeff Goldblum action up there.
Yeah, a little bit, but I got us to where I wanted to be, and hopefully with less malfunctions in what I have written, we're able to get through the stuff kind of exactly how I had it envisioned. So yeah, I hope we had some fun, and I hope we can come back and do this. If
Dash, what are you thinking, bud? Like, what did you like about all of this?
I enjoyed it. Yeah, I didn't actually use half of my character's powers. I mostly used the turn into metal and the energy absorption, which I mean technically that is it, but I didn't use the other part of my energy powers, which I can shoot a blinding light, I can glow, shine light, and I can shoot an energy blast.
Shine bright like a diamond.
But I was glad I was able to discharge energy into my gun and then fire it for extra damage. I thought that was pretty sick.
That's cool. Yeah.
I also want to find out if what all I can take energy from.
Yeah.
What the limitations are. So I'm curious to find out what that will be like.
Oh yeah.
And depending on different types of energy you take in, what the pros and the cons of each type might be.
True. That'd be cool.
Really cool.
See, and that's one thing that I wanted to make clear to you guys, and maybe it's a little bit more clear, is like, if it's not written in stone in the book for your powers, if you can justify it, and if we can come up with a cool way to do it, I don't care what it is, because that's the fun part about the powers, is everything that they wrote is kind of a suggestion for how it can be used. And there's some good rules for that sort of stuff, but we can also like go off the rails and come up with some unique ways to like use your guys' powers. And if like one of the things is like there's some energy that Dash could absorb that might be harmful to the party or him or something, like that's a really cool thing that we can kind of explore.
Like if someone hacks Bentley's character, I could just absorb all the energy from his character's body and just disable him.
He does run on solar power, and he only has an 8-hour battery. So,
or if there's, oh, there he goes.
So
put it back in.
If he's out in darkness for 8 hours, he'll power off.
Or maybe there's some sort of force of energy that is unique to Earth that you haven't encountered before, so your system isn't adapted to it or evolved with it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm adapted.
Cool. Well, hey, I think this is a pretty good place to stop this Metagame Minute. This has been a special Chaotic Amateurs Heroes Unlimited edition, and we hope that you all come back to this adventure later. And if not, check out the rest of our podcasts on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, or what have you, or at chaoticamateurs.com. Hey, till next time, grab your sword and keep on adventuring.
I think I need to order some chicken wings.
All this talk about chicken wings.
Well, hey guys, that was a lot of fun, and I'd love to speak about it more, but I got to sneak out of here. I got a crying baby over there. So.
Same.
Go and shake
All right.
the baby.
All right, I'm gonna end the meeting. Love you guys.
Later. Bye.
Yeah, that was fun, guys. Thanks.
Yeah.
Good
Thanks,
times.
Milo.